and have your chance to qualify to win a Creed Humphrey football. That's today. About 8 qualifiers throughout the show today. Where you hear a sounder, Nick will introduce the sounder to all of us at some segment of the show. So a lot of stuff to give away today, and then, of course, plenty tomorrow as well while we're out at Rally House, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it tomorrow.
I can't wait. And, you know, although we're disappointed Nick had kicked out Vinny Pasquantino at the time.
Yes.
They've squashed their beef, so that no longer has to be an issue, which means we're just excited to welcome MJ Melissa and Michael Massey for an entire hour. Get an idea of the Royal stuff, but I want to kind of get their feel, outsider's perspective of the Chiefs playoff game against the Jags, right? Plus, let's see what they think about the sound of Arrowhead for their first time out on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll get to Trevor Lawrence's comments in just a little bit. You and I and everybody at the station, is this time of the year where you start to get down to where there's only a handful of teams left, and so everybody around the country is trying to get a perspective, for example, on the Chiefs radio hits this week. I've got some radio hits, and every hit I've done, Cody, I've been asked, so do Chiefs fans view this as Super Bowl or bustin'? Is that where we're at now? My answer to that is, well, yes. Now when you go 14-3 and you're the number 1 seed, yeah, we're back to Super Bowl or bust in this city. Because I do think before the season started, knowing the thought process that maybe they were going to take a slight step back, they're going to try to set themselves up better for the long term with the cap, which they still have done. But maybe there was a chance you were going to fall back a little bit. Not that they were going to miss the playoffs or anything, but you're going to fall back a little bit. When you win 14 games, man, and you're the number 1 seed, and you have the MVP as your quarterback, no,
like this year's MVP, not just like won an MVP or at any point this year.
It's back to Super Bowl or bust, 100% for me. I'm curious where everybody's at, 913-586-7610, but everybody's asking that question whenever I do the hits, and I think it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's Super Bowl or bust.
Outside of Tyreek, what about the roster isn't? Because they're a little young on defense? Well, they can't afford everybody. We've established that. In the moving away from Super Bowl or bust conversation this offseason was move on from Tyreek Hill. But they are the number 1 offense in the NFL. If that status has been maintained, then the opinions around the team are different. You could have told me before week 1, if you had said, hey, Chiefs losing an AFC title game to Cincinnati or Buffalo, I'd have been like, you know what? That sounds about right. They would have, changed the course of their team by getting rid of Tyreek. They would have, what we said at the beginning, taken a half step back to move 10 steps forward, right? They're playing the long game. They're doing the Patriots way. They care about a 10-year window. They're 14-3. They have the best record in the NFL. They're tied for it, but they have the best record in the NFL. And like you said, the MVP and Andy Reid, there is no way in hell it's not Super Bowl or bust. I'm not even sure how you would get to the opposite argument. Because then you'd still have to argue the absence of Tyreek, but they're the number 1 offense. There's nothing else outside of they went super young on defense that would indicate that. And honestly, that made them more defense from the last couple of years ago wasn't going to solve the problems. They had gotten too old. They went refreshed to try to stay on top.
And look, expectations can change as the season goes on. I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles coming into the season, I would imagine, weren't Super Bowl or bust. But I guarantee you they are in Philly right now. Like, going into the season, nobody thought Jalen Hurts was going to be a legit MVP candidate. You may be excited about the A.J. Brown trade and adding some weapons for Jalen Hurts. And maybe expectation was win the NFC East and make a run in the playoffs. I bet you it wasn't Super Bowl or bust. Now it probably is in Philly. It certainly is in Kansas City. Buffalo, we know it was Super Bowl or bust already before the season started.
Oh, it was for sure.
Cincinnati, when you were in the Super Bowl the year before, it's Super Bowl or bust again. It's kind of how it works.
Especially because you won your division. You were a top 3 seed again. You're one of the best teams in the AFC again. There are 3 teams in the AFC that apply to. There are 3 teams whose season, if they don't get to the Super Bowl, are going to be disappointed. Look, Jacksonville can claim disappointed. But if Jacksonville loses, either on Saturday or next week, they've had a successful year. Things went well. As good as could have expected, as a matter of fact. The NFC side is way more open because Eagles are definitely there. And the problem is the Cowboys are almost getting there by default. The Cowboys have had Dak Prescott too long. They've been too good of a team for too long. To eventually be like, look, you got to do something for us here. You got to at least get to a Super Bowl. What are you paying Dak all this money for, right? They eventually run, and you've got Micah Parsons on a rookie deal. They got a lot of things working for him in that regard. But it feels like the 3 teams that it matters to the most are probably those 3. But I don't know. Again, the only opposite side of that argument is if you really think that this is still a step back year. And I don't know how you get there with a 14-3 record. Once that alone shows up. And nobody thinks they're like the Vikings at 14-3.
No, it's not a fraudulent 14-win team by any means. I think it's a fair point from the 816 on the text line that is, hey, now that you also you're not going to have to play the Bills and the Bengals, like it also sets it up for that same scenario where it's the teams in the AFC are better now than what they were when you won in 2019. I think we all agree with that. You're not going to have to go through Jacksonville and then either Cincinnati or Buffalo, and then who knows, right, on the NFC side. Now, I do think as well, the entire playoff field, you could argue, is more difficult now in 2022 than what it was in 2019. Not just on the AFC side, but the NFC side. Like,
going back on the 2019 AFC side didn't end up being all that murderous.
Well, definitely not on the AFC side, but even the 49ers team that the Chiefs faced. You know, let's say the Chiefs are fortunate to get to the Super Bowl this year, and they play Philly. Jalen Hurts, an MVP at quarterback, and that roster is far more talented than what the Chiefs faced against the Niners, I would argue.
I think so.
And so that's what's interesting. It's Super Bowl or bust, but the actual path to get there in some ways is still more challenging, even because just the quality of opponents.
Yeah, but I mean,
the quarterbacks.
Look through it now. Just to get to the Super Bowl, all you have to do is beat one really good team. That's not that bad, man. That's pretty good. That's a nice day's work. And if you get to the Super Bowl, no matter who you get to the Super Bowl against, I'm pretty sure you're going to have the deciding advantage.
Well, yeah.
Jalen Hurts has had not just a quarterback advantage. I think it'll be easier than whoever you face in the AFC title game, if that makes sense. No matter who it is, they're going to be worse than the team you just beat at quarterback. Dak, certainly if it's Brock Purdy, right? I mean, you know that you're better than where he is right now. Then if you go Jalen Hurts, he's having an MVP-type season, but he's only in the first year of being able to do it. Their roster, as you pointed out, is definitely, but it's just like, there's so many other parts of this that just scream the Chiefs had to do it. So that Bengals one was actually really good. Let's say they went 14-3 and so did Buffalo. But they played wild around, and then they had to take on Cincinnati, and then they were going to beat whoever the hell made it out of the NFC too. It's a little harder to make the argument for Super Bowl or bust. But I just think you go...
When you win 14 games.
Yeah, and look, Mahomes is going to make me feel that way almost every year.
Sure.
But I understand the expectations to be a little more reasonable depending on at what stage your roster is in. You can't even promise that Juju will be around anymore. You can't be promising around. Like, that's the other part about a Super Bowl or bust is how many of these guys might not be on your roster next year? Chris Jones, Juju, like who? We don't know. But some of these guys go take advantage of the roster as good as it is.
Well, that's even a different question, right? Like, who has the most pressure in win? It's not based off this season. Von Miller acquisition, I understand he's hurt and not going to play the rest of the year, but that was a all-in, chips middle of the table type of move for the Buffalo Bills. And look, it might end up the all moves they made might end up in the Super Bowl. We'll see. They got a tough game against Cincinnati, of course, this weekend, and then they will either host the Jags or most likely they're going to play in a neutral game against the Kansas City Chiefs in Atlanta. I mean, that seems where it's headed. Now, just an Arrowhead this year, but he hasn't played in a playoff atmosphere. Here's what Trevor Lawrence had to say about coming to Arrowhead this weekend.
Obviously, I'm in that
Jacksonville.
I know there's a slightly longer piece of that quote in which he talks about, the loudness of stadiums or whatever. But, I think he meant that. He meant it louder than Jacksonville. Why do people fall into this trap? That's really what it comes down to. People say
142, man. 142.2. I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened in Jacksonville before.
I mean, they tried, but I don't think it would have happened.
Again, I still maintain I've never seen a Jacksonville Jags fan in my life. Still have never met one.
Have you ever met a single Jacksonville Jags fan?
No, I think I've seen people wearing Jaguars jerseys, but I don't know if that means that they're Jags fans.
Well, who would be wearing a Jags jersey?
Someone where
for
like,
funsies.
I saw someone wearing a Paul Posluszny jersey one time.
That was like in state. And it had nothing to do.
The fact that he said it, though, because of course it's something that's going to rile up the Chiefs fan base, and not that Arrowhead wasn't already going to be rocking on Saturday afternoon, but Chiefs fans take that personally. I love it, and so that clip to me is a good thing, actually, that it exists, that it's out there, that he said that.
It's good for, I mean, it gives a little bit of juice to the fan base, but I mean, it's the same thing. We've known over the last couple of years, the Arrowhead effect is a little bit less from a win-loss percentage than it's been at other times. I think that's largely because teams have kind of gotten used to playing in these road atmospheres. And it's limit to what, like you've talked about it, it's hard for it to feel like the 90s Arrowhead sometimes. There's a couple moments when it certainly does feel that way. And if you invite that back into your room, if Trevor Lawrence has invited that back, then we're having a very different, that's a very different conversation. And so he for some of those were in very noisy
Arrowhead
environment.
Close to a big time college.
I mean, the toughest place to play. Everyone still acknowledges it. Whether he likes it or not, he should probably just avoid it. Normally, I would just say, and on this game needed something.
Home field environments in the NFL. I was like, this guy gets it. And then all of a sudden it was just, but I mean, it's probably not.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's like anyone had, if we'd gone through a ranking, and this was like an ESPN personality who was saying this about Trevor Lawrence, the one that would make us laugh, like Jacksonville, right? Like, it'd be like, I think that it's pretty close in Buffalo to Arrowhead. You'd be like, okay, sure, Josh Allen, that makes sense. If he's like, I feel like in Minnesota it's really close to what they have. You'd be like, bit of a stretch, but okay, fine, we get it. But when you say Jacksonville, we all take them as a joke franchise.
I mean, it's like them, and there's like three franchises that you just can't ever say that about. It's them, it's the Chargers, and honestly, at this point, the Raiders, because it's not even really home games when they play there.
And probably like the Cardinals. You'd be like, in Arizona, nobody even lives in that state until they're 60. They move there at 60. There's no one under the age of 25 who lives in Arizona.
There it is.
They all just move there eventually. No one's born there. They only die in Arizona. So maybe they're fans.
Wow.
But it's a very limited number of fan bases that would make us openly laugh at the idea that it's pretty much the same. Jacksonville's one of them. And I get it. They had a very loud home atmosphere. A home playoff game.
You're right, though. Getting into this game, it hasn't felt like there has been as much as maybe you would typically expect for a divisional round playoff game, because divisional round weekend in the NFL is one of the best sports weekends of the year if you just consider what's on the line, and you are getting the best teams in the NFL, and it's great all day Saturday, and of course the games on Sunday as well. Like, so there hasn't been a ton of juice to it. Is it because it's Jacksonville? Like, what is there to quote unquote hate about the Jags? There's not some history between the two franchises. It's not like we're playing, Cincinnati, of course, with what's going to come next week if the Chiefs face them. And look, I always laugh. We said this early in the week. The Chiefs, they can't, of course, overlook the Jags. But I can absolutely talk about a potential AFC title game. I can talk about playing Buffalo and Atlanta. I can talk about hosting Cincinnati and Mahomes trying to avoid going 0-4 against Joe Burrow and company. We know there'll be plenty of juice if the Chiefs go to a title game, one way or the other. It's the AFC title game, Super Bowl trip on the line, and there's plenty of storylines with either team. There just isn't a ton of story between the Chiefs and Jags.
They played a boring game earlier this year in which one team definitively was the winner, and nothing weird or unusual or spectacular happened other than Patrick Mahomes was great, and there's no trash talk. No one's out here being like, what you need is one Jags defensive lineman to say, no one thinks we can win this. Like, okay, cool. I mean, you're right, but also, say it. Come on, man, take a chance. But Doug Peterson is cut from the Andy Reid cloth. You know what Doug also likes to avoid for his teams? Controversy. He does the same things Andy does. Shut up, play the game, and we will try to get some wins somehow, right? Don't worry about what these people say. Just play the game. And I think that there's some part of it that exists that way where they're trying to avoid it. But it does feel like we're just like crawling into this game on Saturday. I'm like, I'd like some controversy between the two of you. And I don't think we're going to get it, man. We're just going to have to wait for the game on Saturday.
Here's spin zone here for Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if you saw this. I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. They had him mic'd up during a game, and people were giving him a lot of crap because he is the worst trash talker on ever.
Really?
Wait, worse than Phillip Rivers?
No. Yes, because here's the thing that like guys would say about Phillip Rivers. Even Chris Jones said this about Phillip Rivers. Like he would never cuss, but they loved, but he would really go after you, and he was really intense. Whereas Trevor Lawrence seems like I probably should start talking trash. Let me give this a shot. And he was like, hey, you guys, hey, we're kicking your butts, aren't we? Yeah. Hey, and he's on the sideline like hyping his own team up, and he's saying like, hey, come on, they can't compete with us. We're gonna kill them. And I was like, oh God, you just
I didn't know Trevor Lawrence has more of a Southern accent than I realized. I feel like Nick sounded a little.
Oh yeah, he's from the area.
Yeah, he's from Georgia.
From Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find the clip for you, and then you'll be like, oh wow, Nick nailed it.
We'll feel like after we hear Trevor, you nailed that impression.
Yeah.
I mean, we did just hear him talk.
No, but then you'll.
Obviously, the environment and the atmosphere.
Doesn't sound much. Doesn't say
No,
much.
but the trash talk maybe sounds a little different.
Yeah, he does. He takes on us. He's doing a character.
What's the magic sounder that people need to be listening to, though, Nick? You haven't told us what it is.
I thought, no.
This will be their chance to
I'll just play it for you.
To register to win.
To register to win a Creed Humphrey autograph football.
So not right now, but when you hear this sounder throughout the show, that is your cue to call in. And how do you guys want to do it? We'll do the sixth caller. Sixth caller all day. We'll keep it consistent. When you hear this sounder, you will automatically register to win a Creed Humphrey football when you hear this.
My body is my career, and shaving my pubes is no different.
Well, I mean, look, Juju Smith-Schuster, obviously, the last time they played, he got concussed and got hit pretty good and dirty by Andrew Sisko.
And here's the thing. It was between two clips, and I figured you guys would appreciate that clip over the second place finisher in this competition.
Walker told me I had AIDS.
I figured you wouldn't love me playing that times today.
I would not.
Wouldn't have been. I thought we were gonna. I thought there was a third choice.
No, that
option.
was not. That would have killed us in the ratings.
There wasn't a third choice. You didn't think about using
Whopper.
I did not.
No.
I did not consider that one.
Okay, so anytime you hear the first sounder, the Juju Smith-Schuster ad, that's when you want to be the sixth caller, 913-586-7610, and Nick will qualify you to win that autographed Creed Humphrey football. It's as simple as that. Thinking of Nick, though, we know Nick was in Germany, and guess what? We all thought this was going to happen, but the Chiefs and the NFL officially confirmed this morning that the Chiefs will play in Germany next year for one of their games. It will count as a home game. We don't know if they're going to play in Frankfurt or Munich. The NFL hasn't announced that. Of course, the schedule and all that's going to May or so for it to come out. But my guess is the Detroit or Chicago game, but we'll see. But the Chiefs are going to play in Germany, man.
That's exciting. Now, we did kind of know this was coming, but it's also like at this point, because at this point, you're just going to be like, cool, they're playing in a new place. Kind of looking forward to seeing a game at 9 a.m., right? Because the alternate option for this is to still continuing fighting the international games. And that's because the Chiefs have played in Mexico City and in London, and now they're playing in Germany. And don't be surprised if they play in Italy or some other foreign country in the next 4 years as well.
Yeah, I thought I saw that the Chiefs were is it true that I think they were the first team to play in Germany way back when anyway, in Berlin?
Oh, maybe. Like when they were doing the NFL Europe?
Yeah, they like America's Bowl or whatever. Remember, they used to play games in Tokyo and stuff.
I wish just because, like, the Chiefs don't have alternate jerseys, right? And we understand that they're trying to make their brand in Germany, so they're not going to do it. But for them to wear an old Frankfurt Galaxy jersey or helmet, come on!
No.
One time, who cares?
You're trying
you
to
see them in the Chiefs jersey all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, you said it yourself. Why would we want?
They have no alternates.
Your whole point is to brand yourself in Germany. All of a sudden, you're going to wear a Frankfurt uniform? No.
You're already branded in Germany. One
Talk,
Frankfurt Galaxy jersey. That's what I want.
If you want to talk about branding,
fine, just Tommy Townsend wears
the Matt helmet. And all that, I'm on board with that. We've talked about that for a while. The black Matt helmet. With
They're never
going to
do anything else like that.
But not in Germany. If anything, they're trying to make sure people recognize the Chiefs logo and that's what they associate it with and know that that's the Chiefs there. So next year, we're all going to Germany. Right?
Nick, what's your advice for anybody who might be traveling to Germany for this game? Now, you've only been to one of these two cities, so you can only really give us advice for Munich.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's pretty universal advice. It's not as though the culture is all that different. I mean, there are minor differences, but in terms of travel, the things that you would actually care about, there's no language barrier, so don't worry about having to learn. I'm not kidding. Don't worry. If you go to a major city in Germany, everybody there is going to speak English, so you're good on that. Save a lot of room for I mean, I know it's stereotypical. Everybody eats sausages over there. No, dude, but they're incredible. They're incredible. Try to find the unpasteurized beer because it's awesome. They serve Budweiser over there. It's not affiliated with American Budweiser. And, the same reason why you can't, smuggle, French cheese into America, it's because it's unpasteurized. We don't allow that here. So good. So good. So just find some beer and find some sausages and some schnitzels and just go to town.
That's your advice?
Well, give me pointed questions. If you have questions, then I'll answer them. But
what was your favorite restaurant you ate at Munich?
We did a lot of beer halls in Munich. We didn't do a lot of sit down.
What was your favorite beer hall in Munich?
The Hofbrauhaus. It's the really famous one. It's just a giant beer hall where they serve two types of beer, light and dark, and you just sort of sit down and eat. Oh yeah, go to a food truck and try horse.
Excuse me?
Said you didn't.
Excuse me?
I didn't. You should try it.
Excuse me? Try horse?
Yeah, try it.
That is not endorsed by Cody and Gold. Let's be very clear here. That is not a show endorsement.
Listen,
that is
it's a
horse.
It's a cultural thing.
They eat horse?
It's a cultural thing. When they were going through the war, there was great famine, and so they had to start eating horse.
No.
I don't have to.
Learn
Learn
a little bit about their culture. Would it kill you guys? Would it kill you guys to care about anybody other than America?
What's the weirdest meat you've eaten? Gold.
Now it's definitely horse for me. I mean, obviously.
I assume mine is shark. I can't think of.
No, I don't. I mean, the exotic.
I want to make it was not good. Tasted kind of like money.
There you go.
Nick's advice for Germany.
They do goulash over there.
Oh wait, goulash is better?
It's not like the goulash you were served in grade school. It's literally just each other that's slow.
That sounds good.
NFL playoff coverage brought to you by Metro Ford. View more at metro4.com. Up next, we chat with a three-time Super Bowl Bill Irvin. We'll get his thoughts on what the Chiefs need to look for Jacksonville and Dallas Cowboys found.
You're listening to Cody and Gold, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Subscribe and download all new episodes of Nick's Wavin' in the Wheat podcast, released every Thursday on the 435 Podcast Network and the Odyssey app.
The Kansas City Chiefs are back in the playoff. MGM is adding more excitement to the team season run with one-game parlay insurance. Just place a one-game parlay wager with at least 4 legs on the Kansas City Chiefs playoff game, and if all those legs in the parlay hit but one, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets up to $25. Log into your account or download the BetMGM app to take advantage of this offer throughout the Chiefs playoff run. Take the field confidently with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. So don't wait and go get that one-game parlay insurance. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older and physically present in Kansas to bet. New and existing customers offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued with non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Yes, the National Fishing Expo's Kansas City, January 20th through the 22nd at the KCI Expo Center. Fishing season starts now with over 60 free seminars with pros for every
Ford is winning with inventory coming in and opportunities to make great deals. Metro Ford has new and low mileage pre-owned options right now on site, including the Raptor, Bronco Sport, and the always popular F-Series. Head to Metro Ford off Nolan Road in Independence, just 15 short minutes from downtown, or shop online at kcmetroford.com to view the large selection of new and pre-owned deals. That's kcmetroford.com.
The NFL playoffs are here, and the easiest way to get into the action is with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. New customers get started with $150 in free bets, guaranteed when you place your $5 bet. Just sign up with promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from the money line to point spreads to player props, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Your first $5 bet to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code WIN. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus in select states. Must be present in select states to wager. First online real money wager only. Bonus issued as non-mobile fees that expire 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbookfanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. For Colorado, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia, West Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. In Connecticut, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. In Indiana, 1-800-522-4700. Wyoming, Kansas, or visit gamblinghelp.com. 877-770-STOP. Louisiana, 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. 467-369 in New York. DN Redline, 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee.
As a Walgreens pharmacist, I talk with people all the time about little tips and tricks for filling their Medicare prescriptions, like taking advantage of Walgreens 90-day refills to save them a trip, or using Refill by Scan, which is super easy and right on your phone. And for anybody worried about prescription costs, I say, low-cost copays on many medications.
Let's talk about making things easier. Walgreens is here. Fill your way and save at walgreens.com/Medicare. See pharmacists for restrictions and exclusions.
Wendy's knows cold and soggy fries are the worst.
So soggy.
That's why we're serving up hot and crispy fries all day, every day.
And all night. Until close.
With natural cut potatoes, sea salted to perfection.
Show me that potato skin.
Wendy's hot and crispy aren't like other fries. We're your dream fry. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and crispy fries.
Guaranteed to be hot and crispy. If yours aren't, bring them back and we'll replace them.
Without ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, once you get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call clickgrainger.com or just out for the ones who get it done.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait. They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Chiefs fans, are you excited for the playoffs?
Touchdown! Kansas City, Travis Kelce.
Non-stop coverage of the Chiefs playoff run, fan reactions, exclusive interviews, and more on 610 Sports Radio. Free on the Odyssey app.
The Chiefs just go get it done each and every week.
Travis has kind of shown how the tight end can be used as a receiver.
Patrick Mahomes is making MVP kind of plays.
Your Kansas City Chiefs, your Odyssey. Get in the game and download the free Odyssey app today.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Tailgate with Andy's Pick 6.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a Pick 6, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game, and tell them Mitch and Andy sent you.
NFL playoff coverage on 610 Sports Radio is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, just getting started here on a Thursday. Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Nick Short with you. We'll get to Nick's notable notes in about 15 minutes or so. Also, again, be listening for that sounder that Nick played in the first segment of the show. That'll be your cue to call. Be qualified for a Creed Humphrey autographed football. Get you set for the postseason. But let's go right out to the 610 hotline and welcome in our Odyssey NFL insider, the Hall of Famer, the 3-time Super Bowl champion, Michael Irvin. And insider calls are presented by BetQL. Get access to data and insights the sportsbooks don't want you to see. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com. Hey, Michael, always great to have you on the show, man. I got to start with the Dallas Cowboys, though. Not 1, not 2, but 4 missed extra points. What was going through your mind on Monday night?
Right, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Dude, and let me tell you, I was at the game for one of the first games for the Cowboys. I was supposed to shoot first take and get on the plane to get to New York to do inside the NFL. You know, but I talked them out of it. I said, no, guys, I got to stay here. I got other stuff to do. And then I'm going to get on a plane tomorrow morning and come in and push out the taping and everything. But, so I'm at the game, and he misses. I'm really doing box-to-box appearances. You know, this box appeared first quarter, that box appeared second quarter, this box appeared the third quarter. So after he misses, I got to get ready to change box. I'm walking. I'm walking to the next box. I get on the elevator. He misses one. I'm on the elevator. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm talking in tongues. This motherfucker, he does that again. I don't know. I look up. Some people, I must have been saying it pretty loud. I got people with their phone videotape. I said, okay, everybody, listen. I don't know what I just said about Mara. Nobody, please don't post that. Please don't post it. Because it got me in some trouble. I called them everything. Everything. Boy, you remember when you mother them coming down on that football field, boy, I don't know what I'm going to do. I tell you what, it's Tom Brady on the other side. We ain't got time to be leaving no point on the football field when the greatest is right over and he getting the quarterback. Stop messing around. You know how I always say, stay away from the kicker. I read somebody DM Mar. They DM'd him, and they said this to him, right? They said, what? If you miss another extra point, I'm going to go the rest of these playoffs. I'm going to come and stick my foot so far up your, boy, every time you spit, it's going to be a toenail in there. You know what I'm saying? He said, every time you spit, it's going to be a toenail in the spit. So I'll put my foot so far up your booty if you miss. I said, boy, these people crazy. But that's how I felt.
Is there a lonelier place in an NFL locker room, Michael, than being a kicker after missing a bunch of kicks at halftime?
Well, when you win, it comes out okay because it's a joke. But the lonely road is if you lose and miss those kicks. I mean, people are looking at you like, whoa, it's a whole different thing, man. All we need you to do, that piece of leather through those goalposts. That's all. We ain't gonna live about this. That's all. It's a foul if anybody touches you. It's a penalty if anybody hits you. Just get that darn ball through them goalposts and stop playing around.
We also heard Jerry Jones talking after the game. He said he was discussing hunting techniques with you. What's the story? You mentioned rubbing noses in the blood of the opposing. What was that all about?
I was trying to share with Jerry about the uptick that comes when you win a game. Like the uptick is all that publicity and all the notoriety you get when you knock off a Tom Brady. It'll be instantly felt now by these group of people, by these kids, because of Instagram. You don't know the uptick when I was playing because there's the first few media outlets that handled it. Now that it's individual. Yesterday I wasn't on First Take. I was shooting inside the NFL. I couldn't First Take, but I saw the instant response. I was waiting to know some break rating. I saw the people on social media. What the hell is this? Where is Michael? What is going on with this? You know what I'm saying? So you get instant response to what's going on now, the counter response. And I said to Jerry, this kind of win can be like how they train the hunting dogs. You know how they train hunting dogs? They train the dog to hunt by taking a dog, all right, and they make the kill, and they smear the dog nostrils in the blood of the kill. They smear it all, and the dog gets such a thirst for that blood. They call this hunting technique first blood. I said, when you're in a game like this is like that, because you get such an uptick from it instantly that it's like first blood, and hopefully they're so thirsty for more of it that it makes hunt, and win, and win. It's called first blood. Now, I know about these hunting techniques. How many times have you grabbed a gun? How many times have you went hunting? I said, with a gun? None. But I went hunting with a glass of vodka in my hand and them clubs, like a mother brother, if you know what I mean. I was hunting like Daniel Boone in that mug. You see what I was about hunting, just not with a gun.
Flipping to the AFC side, Michael, we're speaking to the Hall of Famer Michael Irvin here on Cody and Gold. Chiefs fans, here in Kansas City, I think everyone preferred the Jags. We didn't want to see the Chargers the third time. We didn't want to get Justin Herbert again. We were kind of asking for the Jags. Should we be right? Is that guilty to be worried about that?
We're the worst people in the world. We're the worst. Why do we think we can figure out the best way to get our teams to the Super Bowl? That's why last Sunday I kept saying, we want Tom. We want Tom. We want Tom. Everybody said, man, you want Tom Brady? Yeah, we want Tom. Why? Because I know we've been averaging 30-some points a game. They've been averaging 14, 15. I know 30 beats 14, 15 all day. We want Tom. We want Tom. You see what I mean? We want the Jags. We want the Jags. Because you try to map out that path, the best path for you. Now, they're all going to be hard. Ain't no easy path. That's why I said the best path that you think from the matchup standpoint. And yeah, I'm with you on that. That Charger game would have been hard because they know you so well. Why you think those games, all those games, Miami wasn't supposed to play Buffalo like that. Baltimore wasn't supposed to play Cincinnati like that. They had backup quarterbacks in playoff games, but it was a division. And when you're in a division, you play each other so much, things are different, they're more difficult. That's what I'm talking about, buddy.
When you look at the AFC, I kind of view it as like we're pretty much the AFC's. If you're another team, you're kind of screwed, Michael. It was Brady, it was Manning, and it was Roethlisberger for 20 years in the AFC. And I feel like between Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow, the rest of the AFC is getting ready to do the next thing. And Trevor Lawrence is just the placeholder, the fourth guy who's in there every year with the other three.
Well, you hope it remains that way. You know, but for you guys don't have to. Patrick is the one everybody's picking, so he'll stay in the fight all the time. That's what everybody's mimicking up. That's what everybody wants to be. It's Patrick. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, they've earned their way in there. It's interesting that we don't talk about the guy that you just mentioned, Justin Herbert. I always found that interesting that we speak of Justin Herbert talent-wise in that same class, but we don't talk about him in that manner of is he going to be able to dethrone the king, the god of quarterbacking over there in Kansas City? We don't put him in that throw. And I think it's because he hadn't won the big games yet. You know, he lose that game against the Raiders last year, end of the season. You lose it this year. You know, you got to win some big games before we put you in there. Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, they've done that and got their teams. That's why. But we got guys. That's why we talk about. But we got guys with talent that can even get in that group, like the Justin Herberts. If Tua gets like the Tua again, AFC is insane at quarterback. So I know y'all like this thing. It's just going to be Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. But trust me, I'm going to have more battles than just those two. If Tua gets back on this field, and I believe he will, if Tua gets back on this field, Trevor Lawrence, like you talked about getting going right now, and Justin Herbert, when they get him a new coach and they win a few of those other games that they haven't won lately, all of those guys are going to come in that conversation.
We're talking to our Odyssey NFL insider, Michael Irvin. In Kansas City, it seems to be pretty split right now. If Kansas City beats Jacksonville, would you rather see Buffalo at a neutral site or be at Arrowhead against Cincinnati? I said I'd rather take on Buffalo because of what Cincinnati's done to Kansas City, even if that means you got to go to a neutral site in Atlanta against the Bills.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I just don't like the whole confidence that the Eagles have right now against Kansas City. Right now, everybody else sees Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs as the boogeyman. But Kansas City Chiefs the Buffalo, Cincinnati Bengals don't see that. Cincinnati Bengals feel pretty confident that they can go in there and get it done. And it's all about matchups. They match up well. They're the best. Like, think about this. Kansas City has some trouble with Tennessee because of the physical run game. But in the end, you're going to beat Tennessee because they don't have the pass game. You see what I mean? Sometimes Buffalo, you have problems with Buffalo because of the pass game and Josh Allen. But I don't think Buffalo can beat you because they really don't have that physical run game. But the Bengals, they happen to have it both. They got a vaunted passing game with those receivers and Joe Burrow, and they can come hard, running down with Mixon and Primes, P-Rhymes. So that makes it a tough battle for Kansas City.
Michael Irvin, always great to have you on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
Always good to be. I always talk, man, and ain't nothing greater than talking football. I'm about to watch that Week 10 matchup again right now while working out between that 27-17 score, like 27-17, if I remember correctly. That Week 10 game, 27-17. So I'm about to go in and studying that right now. That's why it was perfect that I could talk to you before I open the books on the track and study. But I'm going to get ready for some playoff football early.
There you go. Michael Irvin, Insider Calls, presented by BetQL. Get access to data and insights the sportsbooks don't want you to see. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today.
It's a lot to diagnose in there.
I love having Michael on the show.
I do too.
I don't know if there's a ton to diagnose, but I think later in today's show we maybe pull the 3 best moments from that interview.
Okay, so one of the best was saying, I know people are saying, like, Michael, you've never been hunting. And he said, no, I went hunting with a glass of vodka in my hand in the club every week. And you're like, that's a tremendous.
I'll bet he's shot to kill. He aims to kill. And I think he's probably pretty successful. I think he probably bagged a few 10-pointers. If you mean.
So as well. I don't think you're wrong on that one. And then, of course, he was at the Bucs Cowboys game on Monday night, and I can only imagine he said some of the words he was dropping as Brett Maher was.
Please don't post on social media. It's such a great thing to say to people as you're just mad in an elevator about the kicker.
I'm stunned the video didn't make it out there, honestly.
I'm also surprised. I don't know, but if you were in an elevator, Michael was like, hey, man, please don't post that. You'd be like,
people do this crap. People post
I know, but
It depends if now look, he was in the club level, the box, it's maybe a little bit different. Like
for a Cowboys playoff game, that's probably some.
No, the game was in Tampa. If you're a Bucs fan, if you're a Bucs fan and you enter, you would be like, why am I protecting that? But man,
but it sounded like he was going box to box to talk to Cowboys fans. He might have been on that Cowboys side of the suite section anyway.
Michael Irvin, it doesn't matter what time of day. That guy's got so much energy, it's incredible.
Yeah, he does. Think about all the energy he had in the interview. He was like, I'm ready to go work out. He hasn't done enough to.
Yeah, man.
After flying around. But great stuff is always.
Let's get to Nick's notes.
Write something down. Nick's notable notes.
All right, guys, it's that time of year where are sickened a bit. Kind of like first blood, right? Our noses have been rubbed in the blood of what was a long and grueling regular season of year where we talk about it all year. So I don't want us to forget about it now that it's here. Making your legacy in the postseason. Decisions will likely be made on players' futures either in Kansas City or elsewhere based off what they do this time of year. We just talked about this yesterday with Chris Jones, right? How much would a big postseason impact him? I want to go through a few other players, and we can just kind of go around and discuss how much what they do over the next month is going to impact their future. Let's go specifically in Kansas City. If you want to say no, they're going to move on from him elsewhere, that's fine. That's an acceptable answer. First player, Jerick McKinnon. Nobody's been hotter to end the season. 9 receiving touchdowns. He tied the NFL record for a running back with 9 receiving touchdowns this year. He has been a bargain player. Being kind of pushing, there is no better value player on the roster than Jerick McKinnon based off what you're paying him and the production that you're getting. But we know he's sort of an anomaly. He's a 30-year-old running back having a career year. He had to miss 2 straight seasons due to injuries. That's usually end of career for players at his position. Now, all of a sudden, he's getting this sort of second wind of his career. Do you envision a future where Jerick McKinnon is back with the Chiefs next year, just given that history and given the position that he plays?
So I don't think it's a guarantee the way I feel like some people are talking about it, but I definitely think it's very, very likely. Yeah. I don't think some people just assume because he's been so good, like, oh, he's 100% back next year. I'm not so sure I'm at that level. Now, if he goes playoff Damian and helps him win a Super Bowl and ends up coming up with the big play in the Super Bowl and all that, like, then you get into that kind of that. And by the way, they let Damian Williams walk too. Let's not forget.
And so, by the way, Jerick McKinnon, $1.3 million made this year. Again, like I said, he is 30 years old. So if he does come back, I'd be comfortable paying him this much, not more than that.
Okay, so here's the thing about the price tag for running backs and why I think he'll be back.
4 max.
I don't even think it would be that much.
Max.
Do you know what playoff Damian got? Do you know what playoff Damian got for his great effort in Kansas City, his end of the season? Similar amount of total yardage, by the way, on the season that year as Jerick McKinnon has had this year. $2.5 million.
Yeah, but let's be real, though.
Guaranteed. And Damian Williams was like 26.
But let's be real, though. What Jerick McKinnon did to close the season is more impressive than what Damian, like, that he has had in a short amount of time. Like, honestly, if you want to do this the last 10 weeks of every season and do nothing the first half of the year, who cares, right? Because if you're playing this kind of football at this point in the year, I don't care what you do.
The only other part that makes it interesting with him, any running back that's a free agent, is we've talked about this over and over, like how deep the free agent running back class is going to be to begin with.
1 million of them.
So that might suppress the market a little bit because, some of the big names, of course, at the top, it's Barkley, it's Jacob. You can go, there's quality running backs. I'm talking to them that are going to be free agents before you even get to him.
There are only 17 running backs in the NFL who make more than $4 million a year now. 1 for 3. That's the number. I'll pay you $3 million. That puts you in the same category as what Jamal Williams makes for the Lions, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire makes for the Chiefs, or Rex Burkhead makes. Everybody else is either on their rookie deal, so they make a little bit of money, or that. Because the guys who got a little bit more, like Kareem Hunt for $6 million, what he'll make next season, or Gus Edwards, who will make $4 million, I don't think you want to get into that category.
Yeah, and you got to remember, too, Jerick McKinnon, when he signed that deal with the 49ers, got paid a lot of money to not play very much. I think he had a cap hit of like $5.75 million for a year that he didn't play. But, that's got to be the fear here, is that we don't want to fall into the trap of paying this guy a multi-year deal. Now, I don't know if he'll get a multi-year deal elsewhere, but based off the way he's playing, there's always, that's sort of the saying in the NFL. There's always one team.
Yeah.
The team might be willing to overpay.
Man, he got 4 for 30.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah, and didn't play a whole lot for them. All right, next up, this guy's been much maligned. We've talked about him a lot this year, but just specifically for what happens in the postseason, how does it impact his future in Kansas City? Orlando Brown Jr.
So
postseason can't determine
for
it
a left
anymore.
tackle. It's kind of weird, right? It's a little bit different. It's the only time people will notice or discuss Orlando Brown Jr. over the next 3 games if the Chiefs play it, is if he's terrible. Nobody's gonna sit in here if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl and say, man, Orlando Brown Jr., he looks like a top 5 left tackle the last 2 weeks. There's no chance it's ever happening.
Top 5 left tackle amongst what, the 5 teams that remain? Like, it's not as impressive at that
So
point.
I don't believe he can do anything other than piss fans off in the next 3 games, unfortunately.
So he can only hurt his
honestly, I think
reputation.
that's where we're at with him.
I think his thing has nothing to do with the play of the postseason. It only comes down to if he's willing to not become the richest left tackle in NFL history. That's what he wanted this last offseason, and the Chiefs didn't budge. The question is, will he budge now this offseason?
The same thing Nick just said about McKinnon and one team. Because of the position value that a left tackle has in general, he will be willing to pay Orlando Brown Jr. Now, it won't be a good football team. It might be a bad football team. Someone will be willing to pay Orlando Brown Jr. what he wants in the offseason. And again, hopefully it's not the Chiefs, because I don't believe with the agent that he has and based off of every comment he made last offseason, Orlando Brown Jr. doesn't strike me as someone that's suddenly going to cave and being willing to take less than even what the Chiefs offered him last year.
Okay, so this is a different one, and I think it's an interesting one to close on here because he's a guy who right now everybody wants to resign, but I don't think we have a good idea of the type of money he's going to command on the open market. Juju Smith-Schuster, how will because they already want to re-sign him. I feel like he could certainly earn money by having a huge postseason, but if he has a quiet postseason, do you think it will cool the interest level of potentially giving him a big contract extension in Kansas City?
In Kansas City, it might have more of an impact, but going back to what we just said again about Brown, look at the free agent class of wide receiver. Juju is going to that's going to get you a multi-year deal somewhere else, and it's going to be more than just the MVS deal, obviously. It's going to be closer to the Christian Kirk, if not more.
Like for a team that really is looking to go over the edge, whether it's the Giants, and Jets, a team that just needs one guy to sort of push them into relevancy.
It's the balance of understanding he's in a really good spot in Kansas City. I think he fits this offense perfectly. You got a chance to play with the best quarterback in football. You value all that, but at some point, if someone's willing to offer you considerably more, you have to also be smart. If someone's willing to give him an extra year or an extra year of guaranteed money or whatever, any of that kind of stuff, well, yeah, you got to be smart. As much as you might love Kansas City, you're going to take whatever. If you feel your value is what it is, if you're Juju Smith-Schuster, you're going to take that opportunity.
It's limited because his market opportunity to me is playoff contender who is also desperate for the thing. It's like Von Miller when he signed with Buffalo, because I think Juju Smith-Schuster wants to play for a winner. I don't think he's out here just taking, whoever's deal because it's years and the other one is 2. I think he's made it pretty clear. He has winning nations, the only ones who've been here, and so, it's like, is it the Jets? Are they a winning are they winning enough? Are they close enough to winning that you take that extra year from them? Because I don't think he's going to take Bears money just because it's better this offseason, if that makes sense.
Those are Nick's notable notes. Coming up next, we'll talk to a former wide receiver, Danon Hughes, part of the Chiefs Radio Network, what he thinks is going to happen on Saturday afternoon. And we'll ask him some of those same questions about contract decisions the Chiefs are going to have to make.
There comes he to the end zone. Cody and Gold brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Don't Chiefs Red Hour every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Playoff football is here, and we're all fired up for hopefully a fun few weeks. And if you've been to a cold weather game at Arrowhead and you wear glasses, you know there's a good chance to fog up at least once. Whether it's in the concourse, wherever you're going to be, it just is going to happen. But it doesn't have to. Ditch glasses in contacts like I did and call DuraVision. Vision correction. I have the freedom to just wake up and see with my own 2 eyes. DuraVision has allowed me to do that because they're the best in Kansas City with over 65,000 vision correction procedures performed. It's why I trusted them with my LASIK. And to kick off the new year, DuraVision is offering savings up to $1,000 on LASIK. $1,000 worth of savings that's normally reserved just for family members. But DuraVision is extending that to friends and family for a limited time only. Visit DuraVision.com or call 913-491-3330. That's 913-491-3330 for your free consultation and to save up to $1,000 on LASIK. Be sure to tell them Gold from 610 Sports Radio sent you.
Inside the Huddle with Cody and Gold, each day from noon till 1 on 610 Sports Radio. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue KC. Live healthy with Blue KC on the official radio partner of the Kansas City Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Hey everybody, this is Andrew Filipponi here, bringing you the parlay of the day, brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Giants, the feel-good story of the NFL season, surpassing all expectations. That'll come crashing down Saturday night. Have we forgotten about the greatness of Jalen Hurts? And he'll have a statement game against the NFL's 27th ranked run defense. So here's the Hurts parlay. Over passing yard prop, over rushing yard prop, anytime touchdown score. Put those three together, $100 bet, collect over $600. Hurts so good. That's it for the parlay of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app today and make every moment more with America's #1.
First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
4 months. 4 months is all it takes to become a pro in a new field, and that is more in demand than ever. The career of IT. And in the IT field, Centric is the real MVP. The results speak for themselves, with 1,500 companies and counting that have hired Centric grads. Reach out to Russ Mondry today. He will walk you through your career options and discuss Centric's hands-on approach. Learn more at centric.com/610. That's CETRIQ.com/610. IT is the future of Kansas City. Let Centric make it your future.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's zip.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The NFL playoffs are here, and the easiest way to get into the action is with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers get started with $150 in free bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with promo code WIN. Fan your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. All on app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Place your first $5 bet to get $150 in free bets. Win or lose with promo code WIN. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus in select states. Must be present in select states to wager first online real money wager only. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbookfanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. For Colorado, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia, West Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 Wyoming, Kansas or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. 1-877-770-STOP Louisiana. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. 467-369 in New York. TN Redline 1-800-889-9789 Tennessee.
If you like hunting and fishing, Outdoor America with Tommy Bench is your destination. Great guest hunting and fishing tips Saturday at 5 a.m. on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app. Listen on demand at 610sports.com, the weekend programming channel, presented by Wholesale Batteries.
For the perfect game day cocktail, you need one ingredient: Red Kingdom Vodka, the official vodka of the Kansas City Chiefs. Red Kingdom Vodka by Kansas City Distilling Company is part of J. Rigger & Co. family of brands.
This winter, there are COVID-19 booster shots designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. If it's been at least 2 months since your primary series or original booster, schedule your updated COVID-19 booster dose at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
My body is my creator, and shaving my pubes is no different.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine vaccine can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a sort of Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
The Kansas City Chiefs are looking to win the championship, and Metro Ford is winning with new inventory coming in and opportunities to make great deals. View our inventory online at kcmetroford.com. You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motor Studios. MJ Melendez and Michael Massey of the Royals, Cody and Gold, starting at 1 o'clock. Live from Rally House in Oak Park on 610 Sports Radio, KCSP Kansas City, WDAF and Odyssey Station.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Nick Schwartz with you. Being up today for that sounder, the Juju Smith-Schuster sounder that some of you may have just heard.
Might have just heard.
Might have heard that. Every time you hear that, be the sixth caller. That'll be your chance to qualify for a autographed Creed Humphrey football. So that's happening throughout the show today. Also, we still have 2 playoff prize packs from our friends at Rally House to give away. We will let you know there'll be an opportunity.
Doing the segment, maybe?
Yeah, the Chiefs Red Half Hour.
Sure.
We'll go ahead and give people a chance for that as well. And, of course, we'll be out at Rally House tomorrow for Red Friday, 10 to 2. And Michael Massey and MJ Melendez of the Royals going to be hosting the 1 o'clock hour with us, commercial-free. So tomorrow's going to be a fun day getting set for the postseason. And let's get set for the postseason with our guy, Danon Hughes, as well, former Chiefs wide receiver. Of course, you'll hear him on the call Saturday afternoon at Arrowhead, along with Mitch Holthus, Josh Klingler, and Dan Israel. Are you excited for Lil Jon also at halftime, Danon?
Yeah, I am, actually. I don't know if there's been a situation or very many situations where I've been excited for halftime, but I feel like in the first game of the weekend, the Chiefs faithful, it's a Saturday afternoon, so the fans will have a lot of time to get some gasoline in them and be amped up and ready to go. Their throats and their voices should all be rested from the bye week, so not only the normal Arrowhead, the normal noise, but then to be amped up by Lil Jon at halftime, that's going to be fun.
I feel like Trevor Lawrence was the wrong messenger for the Jacksonville is just as loud, not because of him, but because it's Jacksonville. Danon? Josh, now we wouldn't even have argued.
Yeah, I think, he'll learn. I mean, bless his heart, he'll learn. I don't think he got a heavy dose of what Arrowhead could be once he was back in Week 10. And also, like I spoke about this on another interview on Sirius XM last night, two things are true. One, when you're on offense at home, you don't get to taste the realness of the noise. When you're on the sideline, yeah, you can hear your home team cheering for your defense, and that can sound loud, but you're never experiencing it on the field. So Patrick Mahomes only knows how loud Arrowhead can get based on being on the sideline. That's the same thing that Trevor Lawrence did last week. So what he's coming into is a hornet's nest that when he's actually on the field and based on his words, he's going to get, like on a scale of 1 to 10, he's going to get 100 of what the Chiefs fans can give him, bringing back to the days of the 90s when we almost penalized for crowd noise.
What did the Chiefs have to look out for most, though? I mean, I know they played each other in Week 10, but now this is a much different Jags team, and certainly confidence. But what's the one area maybe you should be concerned if you're the Chiefs?
So I feel like the number one thing that comes to mind is their run game. Travis Etienne can be a viable running back, and anytime you come in the playoffs, people will tell you your run game is what gets you over. And they have some confidence in their run game. Just displaying that 4th down and 1 call where they just ran a sweep to the right with Travis Etienne. So to me, that's the component that we have to be careful of, because any efficiency that he brings is less time that Patrick Mahomes can be on outfield. So if people want to say that he or Trevor Lawrence are the best players on that team, the more time that those guys have the ball, the less time the best player in the league has the ball. So that comes to mind. The other thing is that they are number 4 in the NFL at creating turnovers. They created 3 turnovers against us in that first game and didn't give us the ball at all. And even though we played penalty-free in that game, relatively free on offense and defense and clean, like, we gave them the ball. And they were adamant. If you look back at that tape, they were adamant every time they tackled somebody, they tried to rip the ball out. Every single time. That's something that we don't do as well. So my concern is flipping the field with those turnovers, and giving them the ball in short fields, and they have that run game moving, that can make it really, really tough for us.
I really feel like if it's not turnovers, though, it's a bloodbath, because Jacksonville had no answers to stop the Chiefs. They're 27th in pass defense. They let Mahomes do whatever he wanted in that last game. They didn't seem to have the defenders to match up. They got some pressure, there's no doubt, but 0 sacks. Like, I feel like, Dana, if they don't get the turnovers, that's game being go out.
So every so often, I wake up in a cold sweat remembering the Colts games and the playoff games that I lost, as well as some of the heartbreakers that we've seen since my playing days. So I don't ever take any other team for granted. If I've learned that, it makes it somewhat of an uncomfortable time of the year for me personally, because, like, I've been through that storm. So, yeah, are we a better football team? Yes. I mean, they were 9-8, and we were 14-3. So, yes, we're a better football team. We're playing on our home field. Yes, we're better than them all coming to Arrowhead. But the game still has to be played, and very rarely do you see blowouts in the playoffs. So, like, a tight game for them and the abilities that they showed last week, that they're never out of it and they're willing to play for 60 minutes, like, there's still some concern because it's the playoffs. And so I'm not going to go out. I feel like we're a football team. As long as we show that, we'll be fine.
We're talking to former Chiefs wide receiver Danon Hughes. Of course, you'll hear him Saturday on the Chiefs radio network when the Chiefs take on the Jags. Do you think we're seeing McCole Hardman this postseason at all? Let's say the Chiefs hopefully get to a Super Bowl. Is he playing?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like him in the playoffs. Part of the reason is you never know when you'll need him. You'll never know how things unfold. I remember, look, in Week 10 against the Jaguars team, we lost 2 receivers in that game. And so, to me, like, I feel like you want not just a healthy McCole Hardman, but you want a confident, up-to-speed, got his legs under him, has had some game experience back in the mix since he went down with an injury. Like, that's the McCole Hardman you want. I don't want a McCole Hardman that just has to be forced in after not playing for several weeks because somebody else went down. So, to answer your question, I don't think we'll see him. Hoping he can work his way. If we can win, he can work his way back in the AFC Championship.
Obviously, you cover the Chiefs. You play for the Chiefs, so I guess your answer would be Andy Reid in most creative play caller. But is Doug Peterson second?
Man, creative. I mean, I guess I could give Doug Peterson top 5. I'm not sure if anybody else comes to mind right now, but definitely top 5, maybe top 3. But gutsy, probably number 2. To call the calls, to make the calls that he had, to handle the players, to recognize the situation, to have the presence of mind calling a timeout, gathering everybody together, managing moments. Like, you have to put him up there. So, yeah, impressive, and he learned from the best. And hopefully the mentee does not get the best of the mentor this week.
I think the last time we talked to you, we obviously found out that the game, if needed in a neutral site, is going to be in Atlanta. Now that you've had some more time to kind of sit on it, would you rather, if the Chiefs advance, go to Atlanta neutral site against Buffalo, or would you rather be at Arrowhead, but you got to take on Cincinnati?
personally, I'm coming from that mindset as a former player. Like, I want Cincinnati, in part because, like, I feel like if I was a boxer instead of a football player, I would be the guy that got knocked down, or lost a boxing match, and immediately come back and say, I want him again.
Right.
And lose to the same guy, I want him again. And lose to the same, I wouldn't want to fight anybody else. I would just want to fight that same person that just kept beating me. And I feel like that's a mindset that the players have now. They recognize that the Bills are a really good team, but I know from my mindset, like, I want to slay the dragon. I want to slay that dragon and put that totally behind me. So, and also have the benefit of playing at home. I feel like that would probably be the unified or uniform choice of many players if they were truly to be honest.
You got Nixon today coming out saying it's disrespectful that they're already selling neutral site game tickets. I'm like, man, they have to plan ahead, man.
He does realize that you can buy AFC title game tickets in Cincinnati right now, right?
It made me laugh, guys. It made me laugh because I remember how coaches and PR departments, perfectly placed newspaper clippings around the locker room or whatever, they stoke the fire so well. And coaches make you feel like everybody's against you, nobody respects you. Like, from a business standpoint, do you really believe that any organization, would you as the Bengals not be selling AFC championship tickets? Like be real. So I think it's a lot of BS on his part. I get it as a player. You always want to look for those little slights, but in reality, everybody's selling AFC championship and the NFC championship tickets. Who could possibly host a game?
Dane Hughes, former Chiefs wide receiver, will be listening soon over on 106.5 The Wolf. Thanks, man. We'll check in next week.
All right, fellas.
There you go. We'll also be listening tonight. Players only, starting at 6 o'clock. Sean Barber and Dane Hughes, 6 to 7 right here on 610 Sports Radio. And then That Betting Show, hosted by yours truly, from 7 to 8 tonight as well. Yeah, the Joe Mixon thing, like...
Cincinnati is currently, you can buy AFC title game tickets for Cincinnati against Jacksonville right now.
Yeah, it turns out you have to plan ahead in terms of ticketing. So,
that's how it works.
As Dana said, players will use anything for motivation, but just they can't disrespectful. Yeah, if Kansas City were to lose to Jacksonville and Cincinnati were to beat Buffalo, Cincinnati would host the AFC title game against Jacksonville. Therefore, they're selling tickets right now just in case. It is how it works. It's so weird.
It's just how this goes. I don't. Like, outside of that, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, unfortunately for Chiefs fans, they have to prepare for both contingencies.
Right.
Both. If this game was in Arrowhead or if this game was in Atlanta, Buffalo's doing that same thing. They just think it's less likely because they feel like the Chiefs are getting past Jacksonville. Like, if you're a Buffalo fan, you're probably spending your dollars thinking I'm going to Atlanta. Versus if you're a Chiefs fan, you're like, I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll be here in Arrowhead. Maybe we're down here in Atlanta. I don't know which way it's going to go. It's a mystery. But I think largely, but players like that. That's the one thing I do understand about, a player Mike, where Danon, because I think it's wrong sometimes. Danon's wrong. The Chiefs should not want to face Cincinnati. They should want to face the easiest possible opponent all the way down to the end. I think anymore the mentality of I want the best of the best. Stupid. Screw that. I want titles. Titles, come please. I don't care. I'm not going to go back and count up how many easy matchups, how many Jacksonville Jaguar, Blake Bortles-led teams that the Patriots got on their way to Super Bowl titles. It doesn't matter to me because you got the win, because you got to face Jacksonville. That's an objectively good thing. Just root for chaos is normally what I would say. But it doesn't make any sense.
We'll get to the trash of the day in just about 4 or 5 minutes, but there is something that worries you, not what we've brought up so far. No. Nothing necessarily about the scheme, but something that happened last time.
It's the way teams like Jacksonville play in games where they know they're behind before the whistle starts. And that's how they played against the Chiefs last time. Dirty. Andre Cisco went at the head of multiple Chiefs players the last time they were out. And I don't want some hit by him or some other Jag to end up being the difference why the next game might be more difficult if they're able to get past Jacksonville on Saturday. It seems fairly obvious. In going back and watching that, Like, you just be like, no, he's playing hard. I was like, he kept going after everyone's head.
The second
of course I'm worried about it.
If we remember the sequence, right, the one hit, Juju, of course, knocked out, really scary situation. Then the very few plays later, there was the hit on MVS. I thought that was the dirtier play. I actually didn't think the Juju one was quote-unquote dirty. The one against MVS was the worst hit in terms of
and then you had a third one later in the game, too.
Yeah. My body is my career, and shaving my pubes is no different.
I don't,
Juju.
I don't think that you can say, like, okay, you hit a guy in the head once, okay, accident. Second time, that's not feeling like such an accident. 3 times in one game, Gold? No, you played a dirty game. And I think what happens here is when you're the inferior opponent going into the game, everyone pitches you as that, you feel that way. That's why, like in college basketball, it happens a lot, Gold, where it gets chippy. You know, everyone starts getting kind of like, it happened in the Miami-Buffalo game. I thought that's why Miami started to stir it up with them a little bit, because they know that they're trying to get an edge. And against Kansas City, I think teams do this a lot because they go into a lot of games feeling like they need an edge against what is one of the best teams in the NFL. And Jacksonville did the dirty hit model. And I'm worried that will show its face again.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm not as concerned necessarily with that. I think certainly fans will be ready. I mean, if there's one player that's kind of enemy number one on the Jags for this game, it's definitely him because he knocked out your wide receiver, Juju Smith-Schuster, and cost him multiple games, and it took some time for him to get back in the swing of things. I'm actually interested. I'm surprised that they honestly didn't make Juju Smith-Schuster available to the media this week. I guess there's a chance that could happen at some point today, but because Andy's going to talk at 1, and you'll hear from Andy. But I was a little surprised they didn't make him available, considering the last time they played, he got knocked out of the game. It was a concussion, and just more on his thoughts of playing a team where, as you're saying, you thought they were dirty, and get his thoughts on that. But I don't know if we'll hear from Juju or not. But let's get to the trash of the day. So the trash of the day, you probably make your own pasta, as we've discussed.
I have made my own pasta.
Cody doesn't buy boxed pasta. He's too good for that.
I made pasta last night. It was regular box pasta, but I
don't
make my pasta every time. It's just when I feel like it.
So have you ever heard of Ronzoni Pastina?
No, I don't think I've paid too much attention to the brands.
It's the little, like, star pasta.
Sure.
I guess they announced they're discontinuing that brand of it. You know, okay, whatever.
Okay. Let's get a different pasta.
That's what I thought.
So what?
That's what I thought. It turns out people like it so much, found them selling them on eBay. Amazon and eBay, recent pasta, $25.
Pasta's like $2.
Typically, it's sold for less than $2 for a 12-ounce box. It's going for $24.99. The company announced they're discontinuing it on January 3rd. I understand some people freaked out, and there were some other food items recently people were buying, thought they were going away forever, but we're also talking about box pasta.
The trash of the day sounder?
No, it's cool.
No, it's a little late now. Yeah.
I feel like the conversation, it adds to the conversation.
Go ahead, do it real quick.
Trash of the day.
We start over. $24.99 because people aren't going to be able to go to the store to buy it anymore. That's nuts.
Absolutely.
What are you paying $24?
You know why Cody doesn't like this, though? Because he will just make his own pasta.
It's on Amazon.
He already made that joke. It's too late.
Yeah,
too late into this conversation.
Yeah, I already said that.
What else did you say? I don't want to...
That was mostly it.
$24.99 on Amazon, man.
I'm not paying $25, and no one's paying for it.
Oh, it's selling. Of course, it's a number. It's listed as the #1 bestseller in the Italian pasta category on Amazon.
How many Italian pasta categories are there on Amazon?
Well, pasta category, but the #1 seller is Ronzoni Pastina, $24.99. The next best is, like, you know, the Barilla, like, ready pasta stuff that's, like, already cooked, but you kind of, that's the #2 bestseller.
So wait, let me just be. Have they said why? Why cancel a type of pasta you make?
It says, Pastina has been a staple in households across the globe for decades. Long has been heralded as a perfect choice when you're feeling under the weather in need of a meal that is filling but won't upset your stomach. Whether you serve it with butter or sauce, it is the ideal choice for anyone seeking a little TLC. There's a change.org petition going on right now to have him bring it back.
According to them, their longtime supplier of this will no longer be making it, and they looked for an alternative solution but were unable to identify a viable option to continue making this pasta.
Text line's correct. If you listened yesterday to the show, here's our chance. Cody and Gold Star Pasta. This is it, Cody. You wanted box branding? Here it is. This is your chance.
I'm open to this. I made it very clear. Have I set a meeting with a local chip? Yeah, I have. I will now do things to spite you two. I just want you to know that. I will do things just out of that.
Nick and I have to sign off on it, though.
You know what? I'm going to
disagree.
Using our name.
Well, then it'll just be Cody. I'll X your name out.
I have a meeting.
I'll be in bold, and it'll be me.
I also have a meeting set up with a local restaurant who is considering naming a menu item after us.
Oh, perfect. And we've got a brewery that's interested in going with the beer.
And Gold has set up a meeting with them.
So it sounds like you guys are on board. The goal of our name on 5 things this year seems very viable at the moment.
There you go. $24.99.
I was thinking about cutting you guys out and just having the menu item at this restaurant just named after me.
That would, that's not exactly what I had in mind. I understand your name is not on the show, though, so maybe compromise?
And honestly, I've had about enough of that.
You want to be Cody and Gold, and also Nick?
Time to stick up for myself.
What would you like the show name to be?
No, I don't want to change the show name. It's too late for that. I'm just going to start doing personal branding.
Oh, I see. He doesn't want to change the name. Just, you want the Nick Schwartz sandwich.
Bingo. You got it.
Flow.
The Schwartz Sammy?
Kind of a tongue twister. Hard to say, isn't it? If you pay $25 for this, you're an idiot.
I agree.
There are 100,000 types of dry pasta. Just choose a different one.
Pasta, not that big of a deal. That's the trash of the day. Up next, we get into the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Be listening for your chance to win ice packs from Rally House, and I think we're back to where we used to be in KC with one big question. I'll tell you what that is next.
You're listening to Gold, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trust Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Don't miss Alex's That Betting Show every Thursday night at 7 o'clock right here on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Josh Klingler on location today at the Mission Hy-Vee until 1 o'clock, 6655 Martway Street in Mission, and I'm here with the Hy-Vee Supercart. And you want to come by the store today, just scan the QR code that's on the side of the Supercart, and you'll be automatically registered to win 4 tickets to this Saturday's game, plus parking, plus a $100 Visa gift card. That's right, the official grocery sponsor of the Kansas is Hive. Get registered to win those tickets. Also, we have 2 autographed footballs to give away as well, plus a $250 Hy-Vee gift card. Come find me to register, and the winners will be drawn this afternoon. Also, Hy-Vee's your one-stop shop for watch party and tailgate needs. Pick up some wings, the best scratch dips that are made in town, party treats, all kinds of Chiefs-themed cakes, cupcakes, cookies, whatever you need, it's here at Hy-Vee. Again, on location till 1 p.m., stop on by at the Mission Hy-Vee. Elevate your tailgate at Hy-Vee.
Yeah, you know, back in my day, a gallon of gas was only 80 cents. Yeah, it didn't cost an arm and a leg to go to the movies.
Okay, Dad.
Oh, it'll happen to you. Just look at home internet rates. You think they won't go up?
Actually, Dad, I have T-Mobile 5G home internet, so I get T-Mobile's price lock guarantee, which means they won't ever raise my rate for internet.
Yeah, but if T-Mobile doesn't ever raise your rate, then by the time you're my age, you won't be able to complain about how much better it was back in the day. Because, you know, it'll still be good.
Yeah, Dad. That's kind of the whole point.
Switch to T-Mobile 5G internet and get our price lock guarantee. We won't raise your rate for internet ever, and it's just $50 a month with autopay. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/5G internet.
Qualifying credit and service required. Regulatory fees included in price for qualified accounts, plus $5 per month without autopay. Price lock exclusions like taxes, fees, select promos, and third-party services apply.
You make plans for dinner, plans a job, or plans to spend more time with the family. Having the right plan can make a world of difference, especially when it comes to your health. That's why Blue KC offers health plans with coverage you need right here in the city we all call home. With a Blue KC health plan, you can enjoy $0 copays at Spira Care centers, access to a broad provider network, and much more. Enroll in a Blue KC health plan today. Call 888-892-8108 to get started. That's 888-892-8108.
Well, you know what they say, less is more. Unless they're talking about Lucas Wine and Spirits Superstore. At Lucas, more less. With the largest selection for 500 miles. Lucas sells my beer, wine, and spirits in a week, as some stores sell in a year. That's how Lucas can sell it all for less. Much less. Come choose from literally thousands of craft beers, hard-to-find wines, craft whiskeys, and exotic spirits. Explore with expert help in person or explore online at
lucaskc.com, where that incredible selection is all available to order for curbside pickup. And if you live in Missouri, they can even deliver it right to your door. Lucas Wine and Spirits Superstore in the Northland, just west of Liberty and 152 in Fitlock. In Overland Park near 119th and Metcalf. And in South KC at 135th and State Line.
Lucas Wine and Spirits Superstore in a glass by itself.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just months, already in IT, build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. And financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
Why have over 2 million people trusted their bath remodels to Bathfitter? When a normal day is anything but normal, we fit your schedule with a unique tub-over-tub process installed in just a day with no demolition. When high quality is the only quality that matters, we fit your standards. We've been remodeling baths for over 35 years, and every bath we install comes with a lifetime warranty. Get the bath you want in a day with quality that lasts a lifetime. Bathfitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Other banks go out of their way to make redeeming credit card rewards needlessly complicated. But Discover isn't like that. With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount, at any time. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
Mostly cloudy, 50% chance of rain, high of 35.
Weather brought to you by Pfizer and BioNTech. This winter, there are new COVID-19 booster shots designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. Schedule your updated COVID-19 booster dose at vaccine.gov. This Chiefs coverage is brought to you by Upfield. Start the year with a new career. Upfield, producer of Country Crock and I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, is having an on-site hiring fair for manufacturing and warehouse employees. January 18th and 19th. 3 p.m.com/careers.
NFL playoff coverage on 610 Sports Radio is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Chiefs Kingdom. This is Mitch Holtis, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour on Cody and Gold. Every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Chiefs Red Half Hour is brought to you by Greenway Ford. It's a new day, a new way at the all-new Greenway Ford. During the Chiefs Red Half Hour, be listening, you'll have a chance to win one of those playoff prize packs from our friends over at Rally House. Chiefs hat, koozie, flag, 2 cups. We'll be out at Rally House tomorrow for Red Friday as well. 10 to 2, come out, say hello, and then in the 1 o'clock hour, the entire 1 o'clock hour is going to be commercial-free. And we're going to have Michael Massey and MJ Melendez join us from the Kansas City Royals, co-hosting the entire 1 o'clock hour. It's going to be a ton of fun tomorrow. We'll have some more prizes to give away tomorrow as well. Cannot wait to be out there. We don't do a ton of shows on remote, honestly. Really, like, seriously, we don't.
The very first show you and I ever did on remote was at Old Chinese Pizza, and then the world shut down after COVID.
That is true.
So
that is true. Is that the last, other than
Well, we did one at a wiffle ball field at someone's house, if that counts.
I'm talking,
We did one at no other pub for the NCAA tournament.
We did.
Ours are spectacle remotes. So let's continue that.
Well,
let's do something absurd.
Have you guys thought all this week about what happens if they don't like you guys?
I've considered it.
Because they're going to be spending an hour with you. Like, what if you get 15 minutes in and they're just like, these dudes are lame, and then Massey's like, they don't even have cool shoes?
Normally, if that's the case, it's just like any other party you don't like. Shots. I'm going to suggest do that.
It's not at a bar. Are you going to bring booze?
Yeah, I'll just bring it, just in case. It's like backup.
Uh-huh. And then they'll think, okay, not only do these guys suck, one of them's an alcoholic. It's like drinking at 1 in the afternoon.
It's a Friday.
Yeah, but they're getting the season, man. You think Massey and Melendez are just going to get ripped on a Friday afternoon? Spring training's right around the corner.
Think of 4 weeks. It's one time.
I mean, Vinny told us, at least food-wise, I think, what was it, 2 weeks ago? It was like the last time he was going to eat, and then there was full go. Like, it was full go at that point, based on diet and everything.
I don't know, man. Come on. One drink with friends.
What, you want us to bring beer to the remote? Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm suggesting that we have a backup plan in case what Nick says. They don't like us.
I think it'll be fine. The good news is they're co-hosting it. So, Cody, if you just want to go home early.
Oh, that's true.
We want to go home early.
You guys should both just leave and say, you guys got it from here, right?
Yeah, like 1 o'clock hour. It's your show.
Let's do it like
because honestly,
like it's Survivor, and we get 20 minutes in, and they get to choose who they want to vote off.
Well, think about it. 4 hours is too many. That's too many cooks snitching in anyway. And they're the guests, so I think
we'll just let them vote one of us off after about 20 minutes.
You guys just bow out.
You guys got it.
You guys got it from here. So that's tomorrow at Rally House. I've been doing a couple, as you have, Cody, as well. Now you're in the divisional round and doing a couple radio hits around the country. Everybody wants to talk about the Chiefs and the feeling in Kansas City. And every single hit I've done, I kid you not, seriously, every hit I've done, one of the questions at some point, so is it Super Bowl or bust in Kansas City? And I'm like, when you're 14-3, you have the guy that's going to win MVP this year on your team. Even if it wasn't that before the season, because I really don't, personally for me, it was not Super Bowl or bust in August. You can't tell me it's not Super Bowl or bust when you win 14 games.
I guess when you get to this, like let's say no matter what stage you're at of the season before it goes into it, if you get to this stage of the season, how many teams is it not that for? You know? The Giants.
I would argue it's
the Jags.
The Giants and Jags. It's not Super Bowl or bust. I mean, every player, of course, is going to say that. But truly, fan base wise, the Giants didn't think they were going to make the playoffs this year.
They'd feel like they were fought, but it is for more teams than it's not at this point. That's why the question seems kind of silly. For the Chiefs, it is. For the Eagles, it is. For the Bengals, it is. For the Bills, it is. Hell, I think as long as they've been paying Dak Prescott, for the Cowboys, it is.
It's Super Bowl bust every year, seemingly, for the Cowboys, especially as Jerry Jones gets older. I mean, that's where they're at.
You could make an argument for the 49ers that got time because Brock Purdy, but it's like your roster's maybe never going to be this good again. The roster's great. Like, you can even make an argument on their end. From Kansas City's perspective, it's probably going to, like, I would guess that if we play this out for the next 10 years, 8 of those years, I'm going to say it's Super Bowl or bust. There'll be 2 I talk myself into trying to soften it like we did a little bit before this year where I'm like, maybe the divisional round playoffs could be, possible. Like, it's...
Before the season, I don't remember what you said. Before this season, because of the Tyreek Hill trade, even though we all still thought they were going to win the division and make the playoffs, I wasn't at Super Bowl or bust in August because I was asked that question in August by people around the country, too. And I said, I'd end the season. But expectations can change. Just in Philly, you just said it. Yeah, for them now, number 1 seed, you got Jalen Hurts, you had Super Bowl or bust. Before the season, it was not Super Bowl or bust for Philadelphia.
No, but during a runner-up MVP year in Jalen Hurts, and they had the best record in the NFC.
Let me ask you guys this. In the AFC, this is not a joke. Do you feel like the Bills and the Bengals are more Super Bowl or bust because they don't have it and because you wonder how long their window is going to be open?
Burrow still on a rookie deal, so that's always a bust if you've got like a all-pro caliber quarterback. Bills, because they've come up short a bunch of times now over the last few years, and they're already paying Josh Allen, and neither of them has a Super Bowl. So, yeah. For them, it's more of that. The problem is because
they have more pressure.
I don't know how many teams. I don't know. It just seems a little silly to me that all of these different things are all these different teams can be Super Bowl or bust. Like the Chiefs have a Super Bowl. I don't know, man. Like, I don't really view it as Super Bowl or bust. That should be your goal. That should be your aspiration. But I'm not to the point where anything short of Super Bowl should be seen as a disappointment.
I mean, if the
it's really hard. Right, but if you lose to the Bills or the Bengals next weekend, I don't think we're going to look back on the season and say it was like some sort of massive disappointment. I know we want them to win the Super Bowl every single year, but that's just unrealistic expectations.
And that's where we get like the semantics of all of it, right? Like disappointment any time. Like I'm sure the Chargers are disappointed with their season. The Jags will be disappointed. Failure versus disappointment, right? Like I'm with you. Like if the Chiefs were to lose an AFC title game, the season isn't a failure. It's a massive disappointment, though, when you end up winning 14 games.
Yeah, I guess that's it. It's like, okay, well, what does bust mean? Because if we're saying that it's just going to be Super Bowl or bust every single season, I hate to break it to you, but there's going to be a lot of seasons where you're going to go bust.
To your argument, this ranks third in the Mahomes era of what was the most important Super Bowl to get?
Of 5 years, third of 5.
Well, he's in the AFC title game every damn year.
I know, it's just
spoiled. The first one is getting the one, right? You got to get one. It's important to get one. That was first. Then it was the chasing Brady Super Bowl, right? That year, because they had a chance to go back to back, they were in the Super Bowl, meant something from can Patrick Mahomes take a real run at greatest quarterback or most successful quarterback of all time? That one will still weigh more. This one's third. The first one was rookie year MVP. That one felt pressureless.
Yeah,
that one felt like, whatever. It's cool. I guess we'll see. And they already lost some of the steam off the last one. Now it's starting to get like, it seems like it means more to me than last year's one to a point, because the year before they'd already kind of lost some of the steam of the dynasty run, as it were. Like this doesn't reignite that, does it? Like if they win a Super Bowl this year, do we reignite can this team be a dynasty if they win one next year?
I'm sure it will come back up.
But do you think that that's reasonable?
Yeah.
Like a pre-conversation. If they win the Super Bowl this year, can it be a dynasty if they win it next year? They win 3 out of, 6 years? 5 years? Is that close enough?
Yeah, I mean that will be the conversation. Certainly, for me, because of how teams approached this past offseason, from week 1 on, it was for Buffalo anything other than going into the Super Bowl for failure, plain and simple. I don't think that's the answer for Kansas City before the season, and Buffalo just positioned themselves. And you said it, the Chiefs already have a ring in their back pocket. Buffalo and Josh Allen and Sean McDermott, that organization doesn't have it. They're still living off the 90s and going to Super Bowls and not winning them. That is still what they're dealing with. Much like we talked about the Chiefs in 2019, it was still looking back 50 years ago. Their championship. The Bills are looking back to the 90s for the Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, the first one that one's going to be tops forever. And then, I think, it could be second fairly easily if he doesn't have one another 5 years. That's how quickly that will jump into the thing. But it's hard, Nick, because that's true. But a lot of it, too, is also like, if I made you rank what were the most talented teams over the last 5 years, like rank them 1 through 5.
For the Chiefs?
For the Chiefs. This one is right at the top of the list.
I was going to say, it actually might be the most talented. You can make the case. I understand there's no Tyreek Hill, but the defense is a big part of the equation here as well. And you're getting, and this offensive line, I understand in the early couple, but like this offensive line, something as much as we've talked about.
This is the best offensive line they've had in Indiana.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's the second least talented of the Mahomes there. I think the first year was the least, because of the it's weird. I don't know.
He's really young, so it's unproven.
Yeah, that's just it. It's like maybe 2 years from now we'll be talking about how talented this defense. But in the NFL, I know it's nice to have depth, talent on star power. Like how top heavy are you?
I think this team talent-wise is actually very similar to 2019. It doesn't mean that they're going to go and win the Super Bowl, as we were talking early in the show.
I think they're worse team because they have less defensive talent, in my opinion, and they don't have Tyreek Hill, so they have less offensive.
Yeah, and you don't have an all-pro safety like you had with Tyrann Mathieu as well. Like that, Tyrann Mathieu was the best player at his position when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So,
but their offensive line wasn't as good then.
Yeah. So I mean, you could kind of go either way, but again, I think it's real. As long as you have Mahomes and Reed, you should expect to compete for Super Bowls every single year. But I think it's dangerous to say it's Super Bowl or bust, because if the Chiefs don't, because this is realistic. Like over the next 5 years, the Chiefs might not win a Super Bowl. I think they will, But we've seen it with Aaron Rodgers. We've seen it with Drew Brees. We see it with guys all the time. Russell Wilson, who win one early in their career.
It's
and
just
you feel like they're knocking on the door every year and then they never get it. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but be careful because if you get 5 years from now they don't win another Super Bowl, I'm a little afraid of the kind of conversations we're going to be having about Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, how sports were. I mean, look what we're discussing with Sean Payton. And
He's too talented. We should be.
We're looking at Sean Payton and saying he underachieved with Drew
Oh, that
Brees.
was mostly Cody.
No, I mean, that's been a long-standing narrative around Sean Payton. Like, did he underachieve by only getting one ring with the guy that's going to the Hall of Fame? You're right. That will be the conversation that happens 6 years from now. If Mahomes only has one, I guarantee you that's exactly the conversation. If Andy Reid and him are together another 5 or 6 years and they don't win another ring, absolutely that's going to be brought up as a conversation and people be critical of. I'm not saying it's even 100% fair.
No, it is fair. He's the most talented quarterback in NFL history. He should have more than one.
Yeah, Mahomes
in
needs
5 years.
Mahomes needs to win 4 of them, apparently.
No, I just say he should have more than one.
5.
That exact number is 2.
5.
Should we go 6?
6. I mean, if he went 6, then who the hell is he anyway?
Honestly, a bum. That's the answer.
Man,
You know what? This is why nobody on the text line trusts you too. You just take a simple point that is, it is fair to criticize Patrick Mahomes if he doesn't have another Super Bowl 5 years too. Well, I guess everyone thinks he should have 12.
Hey, since we're talking about Tyrann Mathieu, you should be in the Ring of Honor.
Oh my God, let's not do that.
Should he though?
I don't.
2 first-team All-Pros, Super Bowl, Ring of Honor, right?
I don't even remember. This argument went so poorly.
Tyrann Mathieu absolutely is going in the Chiefs Ring of Honor. Yes.
Oh, yeah. First ballot.
Ring of Honor. You said he would. Now, should he?
He's going to.
Not going to. Should he be in it? Answer the question.
He's going in.
Alex, I'm begging you. Stop saying he will.
Yeah, he's going in the
God's the stupidest. God's the dumbest argument. He just refused. This is what happened. He refuses to answer. Should he?
Hey,
not will he?
Hey,
should he be?
You freaking ripping the microphone off of the table. This honestly, Alex, I think could go to HR for a second. I think Alex could go to HR for harassment. That was borderline threatening what you just did.
Yes, I also told you he should go. Are you going to calm down if I say he should? He should and he will. How about that?
Makes me feel
God. You just came unglued.
Do we have a video clip of that, please?
The last time we did this, he was just like, it was, you know what it is? It's probably because of the argument that this show got in over the MVP. When you're like, he shouldn't, he can't win it.
For what?
The argument
should be Defensive Player of the Year. I told you there was no way he could win it because
but we're not saying could. We're saying there's a difference between will win it and should win it.
Yeah, I just don't like having unrealistic conversations. I just don't like. I think that's all.
But this one wasn't
not this one, but the example you're giving. You guys told me in week 9 should and would win Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, we certainly didn't say would. We said should.
Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons exist, and it was not worth my time having a conversation about that. That's all.
Seems like
have you? Okay,
I'm good.
Is this what happens when your kids don't pick up their toys? I mean, dude.
No, my kids are very well behaved.
No, I'm not worried about your kids. I don't know why you went that route with it. You have wonderful children.
Great kids.
And given everything that they've been through.
I don't think you need to put it that way.
Yeah, I love this. Every single day. You know what the most common text is on the text thread since I've been, the 18 months I've been here?
So much?
Why is Cody yelling? And, we never really have a good answer for that question. I have yet to find a concise way to answer that.
Or should.
We don't ever really know.
It's a mystery most of the time.
His glass is kind of fogged up a little bit. Just a little bit. We've seen him fogged up more before. It was a
little hot in the studio today, though.
Is it?
It's kind of comfortable.
It's kind of comfortable.
What? February.
It is January.
What month?
Do you guys know what the sound means?
It is the mock draft sounder.
Yeah, we did this in March when there's mock draft.
April.
It's January 19th. Why are you playing a sounder?
Well, the draft is less than 100 days away.
It is in Kansas City.
99 days. Yeah, and it's in Kansas City. So if there's ever a year not to sleep on the NFL draft and the mock draft sounder, it's this year, guys.
We don't even know if Chiefs are going to pick. What pick are they mocking them with?
Well, we know it's going to be the end of the first round, so we don't really need it. Doesn't really matter. You know how it is in Kansas City. You're going to be drafting at the end of the first round. Well, Denver, guys, he is one of the big boys. He is one of the titans of the mock draft industry over for The Athletic. He has released his mock draft 2.0, and I guess as it currently stands, the Chiefs would be projected to have the 30th overall pick in the NFL draft, selecting Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver from Ohio State. Now,
I love it.
Isn't he hurt?
I love it.
Well,
he's the best wide receiver in that Ohio State wide receiver room. He got hurt this year, though, yes.
This is a little bit similar to what happened with Jamar Chase, except Jamar Chase just didn't play his senior year, still went top 5. Before the season, this kid was projected to be a top 10 pick, perhaps a top 5 pick because of his skill level, as Alex alluded to. Got injured. Now all of a sudden there are questions about his health, but we've seen this before where guys get injured senior year of college, they come into the league, and then all of a sudden, hey, it turns out still pretty good.
And this is different than Jamison Williams. Jigba's not going to miss till November of next season, the same way like when we talked.
Which I would have been fine with that one too.
We talked all about Jamison Williams. We'll find out really what he is next year. He played a little bit obviously for the Lions on the back half of the season, but I think we're all. Wide receiver, of course, will be one of the big themes heading into the draft all offseason, talking about the Chiefs need to go draft a wide receiver. It's going to depend also on what they do with Orlando Brown Jr. and Christian.
Yeah, they don't have any real long answers at wide receiver,
This is perfect for Gold because getting all year long to get Chris Olave.
Yes.
So you just get a different Ohio State receiver.
I also, then the next year, I want Marvin Harrison Jr., so I'm just going to keep sticking with wide receivers.
Make one thing perfectly clear. If this kid had been eligible to go pro last year, he would have been the first wide receiver drafted. He would have went before Jameson Williams, Garrett Wilson, Drake London.
So that means you like it. You like the idea that a talent that good would be available to you.
This isn't like a Justin Ross situation where it's like, he had one good year at Clemson and then was injured for 4 years. He was injured for 1 year. Like there's no reason to think that this guy's never going to be healthy again. This guy is a legit wide receiver.
That's an early mock draft sounder. The text line says their dog always howls at the sound. Please change it.
No, guys, sorry. Mock draft season is officially here. By the way, just in case you were wondering, the pick after the Chiefs, 31st, the Philadelphia Eagles, Bijan Robinson, running back out of Texas. Imagine, guys, can you imagine another first-round running back selection? Cody would have to call for Beach's firing.
No, that's their mock to the Eagles, not to
the Eagles.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's how he.
Well, I'm just saying he's right there. He's right there. So maybe
are not going to take another first-round running back.
We're good on that. Don't have to worry about that happening.
They've learned their lesson. They have Isaiah
Pacheco. This regime is not drafting a first-round running back ever again. This regime. Yes, that's a fact.
By the way, you're with fact.
First round, yes.
You're also
Brad Veach is not drafting a first-round running back with the Kansas City Chiefs in his time again.
Nick, also, why'd you lie to the audience? You said this isn't just like that time Justin Ross had one good year with Clemson. He only had one good year at Ohio State. He was only good for 1 year.
Yeah, but it was really good.
It was especially good.
But Justin Ross was injured. This was a multi-year injury sort of thing where it's okay, maybe he'll never be healthy again. That's more of what I was getting at.
Yeah. Huh, okay. First of many mock drafts.
I can't believe it. This feels too early. I think we should.
You better tell Bink. Someone's got one out. You don't have one out yet.
I think it's got to be. He said that was Dane Brugler's 2.0. That's his second mock draft. He's already 2 ahead.
Guys, mock draft season's 12 months.
12 months?
Yes.
I think it starts after the Super Bowl.
Yes.
1 week has to be like a Super Bowl parade for
you guys. For you guys. Just because you guys
about Chicago,
are in mock draft season all year long.
Chicago this offseason, number 1 overall pick, most cap space. Like that, their offseason is going to be the most.
Yeah, they're probably having mock drafts already right now.
No, they're talking everything offseason. They're also not in the playoffs. The good news here in Kansas City, we get a much longer football season than most cities every single year. We're spoiled.
Honest to God, though, what is give me your top 3 position rankings you think the Chiefs should be targeting in the first round?
Offensive tackle. Should or will? Should. Are you sure? Cody, I need to hear you give me the clear answer on who they should.
Offensive tackle, wide receiver, defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I
would flip the first 2. I think wide receiver should be number 1.
Yeah, I don't have the answer for if Orlando Brown Jr. or Wiley will be back.
So I don't think they're drafting it. It depends on if they trade and get more draft assets as well. But I would go wide receiver. tackle and then edge rusher as well. I don't believe they're taking a tackle with their first pick as things currently, because unless they're trading up, right? If they're picking at 31, remember there's no second pick this year because the Dolphins cheated. So there's only 31 picks in the first round.
They tried to cheat.
They did. I mean, they kind of did. I mean, they attempted. They got caught.
They attempted to cheat.
Yeah, Stephen Ross.
Intent is 90% of the law. I don't even know what that means, but I've heard people say it.
Like SVU or something.
By the way, do you guys remember what this guy did in the Rose Bowl where he was the MVP 2 years ago?
I don't in that particular game.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and refresh you. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Rose Bowl, the Ohio State's win over Utah. Thing with, I don't know if he necessarily deserved MVP of this game, but the stat lines, I mean, it's okay. 15 catches, 347 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
That seems pretty good.
So here's his last 5 games.
How's he even going to be available at 30?
Because he didn't play last year. He played like 2 games. Here are his last 5 games of 2021. 15 for 240, 9 for 139, 10 for 105, 11 for 127, and 15 for 347. That'll play.
Jeez.
That'll play.
Man. The receivers are going to go.
And here's what I love about wide receivers. Like, they always say, like, do you want a USC quarterback? Do you want an Ohio State quarterback? It's like, well, the Ohio State wide receivers seem to be making the transition, okay? Because Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave both look like they're year one. So,
Chris Olave had Andy Dalton / Jameis Winston throwing him the football.
And who did Garrett Wilson have thrown it to him?
Mike White and Zach Wilson.
And Joe Flacco. And he still put up an incredible season. So, you know what? I'm okay with this one. Yeah. I'm okay with this one.
Yeah, just wait till the first one comes out and they're drafting another safety or something, and everybody will
feel. Well, I don't think that safety that I actively did not want in Daxton
Hill or whatever.
He couldn't even get on the field.
Yeah, for the Bengals. Not a great go.
So I feel very good about that. Which wide receivers are going above him, by the way? That Jordan Addison kid that we talked about last year?
USC.
Yeah. And also, you've got...
TCU's wide receiver is going to be the number 1 draft. Quentin Johnson. He's going to be the first wide receiver off the board. First wide receiver take it, I think.
Yeah, and I would still think, even though from a talent perspective, Smith and Jigba might be the best, Marvin Harrison Jr. is probably going to go before him as well.
Can he go?
I thought so.
I'll take either. I'll take either of the two, whether it's this year or next year for him.
Gold is for... he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Yep. He's
next year. Chiefs can draft him next year, please.
What about a quarterback? What about like a project? Anthony Richardson. Chad Henne's getting a little long in the tooth.
No. Pass. Well, thanks for giving us, I guess, our first mock sounder this season. Even though it felt a little too early.
More where that came from, boys.
Yeah, I didn't know we were getting that today.
It's settled in.
Coming up next, we'll get to what's trending, and we talk about players and what they have on the line. How about coaches? I think there's one coach in particular who can actually change his entire legacy this weekend. Next.
This is Cody and Gold, brought to you by Gant Asphalt and Concrete. Asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance. Gant Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things. 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Don't miss Royals first baseman / NFL insider Vinny Pasquantino this football season with Cody and Gold.
My Twitter is about to unload of football tweets. First Jets games that I have free on Sunday. It's go time.
610 Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Josh Klingler. I'm on location with the Hy-Vee Cart today. You need to come see me until 1 o'clock at the Mission Hy-Vee, 6655 Markway Street in Mission. The Hy-Vee Supercart, you can't miss it. It's got a QR code on the side of it as well. Scan it. You'll be automatically registered to win 4 tickets to the Saturday's game, plus parking, plus a $100 Visa gift card. Also, we have 2 autographed footballs to give away as well, plus a $250 Hy-Vee gift card. So come find me until 1 o'clock to register, and the winners on this afternoon. Here's some exciting news as well. Hy-Vee's added an extra day to score big savings at the pump after the game. Win or lose, shop Hy-Vee this Sunday and Monday to earn a fuel discount equal to the points the Chiefs score based on the amount you spent. So get out those fuel saver cards. A big score means big time savings. Today only as well, Hy-Vee's 12-hour sales underway. Huge savings throughout the store, including Wild the Last Crab clusters for just $9.99 a pound. Join us until 1. The Mission Hy-Vee. Elevate your tailgate at Hy-Vee.
The all-new, pure, beautiful women. Best VIP rooms. Half-price bottle service every night. Pure. 350 Highway and Nolan Road. Party at Pure till 3 a.m. Check out PureKC.com.
The Kansas City Chiefs are looking to win the AFC Championship, and Metro Ford is winning with inventory coming in and opportunities to make great deals. Metro Ford has new and low mileage pre-owned options right now on site, including the Raptor, Bronco Sport, and the always popular F-Series. Head to Metro Ford off Nolan Road in Independence, just 15 short minutes from downtown, or shop online at kcmetroford.com to view the large selection of new and pre-owned deals. That's kcmetroford.com.
If you like hunting and fishing, Outdoor America with Tommy Bench is your destination. Great guests, hunting and fishing tips, Saturday at 5 a.m. on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app. Listen on demand at 610sports.com, the weekend programming channel, presented by Wholesale Batteries.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, if you're taking Viagra or any other pill for ED, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do I want to continue to do this for the rest of my life? If you're like most men, the answer is no. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we can restore blood flow naturally without pumping your body full of chemicals like you've been doing. Guys, you need to come in today and fix this problem now. Why are you putting this off? Viagra's not going to magically start working next week, and you don't want to use shots or go under the knife. Call us today and speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today like the thousands of men who already have. If you're tired of dealing with ED or Peyronie's disease, then call West Coast Men's Health.
Call 913-363-9439. That's 913-363-9439. 913-363-9439. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com. HSA cards welcome.
My body is my career, and shaving my pubes is no different.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and from time to go.
It's playoffs time, KC. Rally House is the Chiefs gear you're looking for, including Chiefs official postseason gear and the latest styles fit for the kingdom.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royal State, KC, great. Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's a Rally House.
Gear up in-store and online at rallyhouse.com.
The NFL playoffs are heating up, and with FanDuel, every play is a rush. New customers join today so you can bet the divisional round with $150 in free bet guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with promo code 610BOB. With $150 in free bets this weekend, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over the passing yards and the Chiefs to win outright. America's #1 sportsbook has all your favorite bets, from the money line to point spreads to player props. Plus, with FanDuel, you can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay. All on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. So football fans, don't miss out. Place your first $5 and get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code 610BOB. Make a moment more with Facebook partner of the NFL and 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
4 months. 4 months is all it takes to become a pro in a new field, and one that is more in demand than ever, the career of IT. And in the IT field, Centric is the real MVP. The results speak for themselves, with 1,500 companies and counting that have hired Centric grads. Reach out to Russ Mondry today. He will walk you through your career options and discuss Centric's hands-on approach. Learn more at centric.com/610. That's CENTRIQ.com/610. IT is the future of Kansas City. Let's make it your future.
Don't miss the boats. It's the only boat show this year in Kansas City. The Overland Park Boat Show, January 26th through 29th, with recreational boats, boating accessories, and big winter savings on all brands of new 2023 personal watercraft, Tritoons, runabouts, high-performance boats, luxury yachts, and more. Only for adults, $8 for children. 66 are free. Get more info at overlandparkboatshow.com. The link to the Ozarks Marine Gators Overland Park Boat Show, January 20th through 29th.
For adults with moderate to severe psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's risankizumab Rizza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go head and head. Nothing on my skin
use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or their ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 6-SKYRIZI.
The Kansas City Chiefs are looking to win the championship, and Metro Ford is winning with new inventory coming in and opportunities to make great deals. View our inventory online at kcmetroford.com. You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motor Studios.
It's Rich Holtis. Tune in every Friday morning at 7:30 as I sit down with Bob and Josh to look ahead at the weekend in the Chiefs Kingdom. 7:30 Fridays on Fesco and Morning, right here on 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app. What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Number one, what's trending? The Chiefs in the NFL announced today what we expected, which is that they will be playing at least one game, of course, in Germany next season. That'll be a home game. We don't know what city, right? Frankfurt, Munich, one of the two.
So the plan is either one in each or both in Frankfurt.
Yeah, but we know the Chiefs were going to be playing there. It's now official. We don't know who the opponent is yet or exactly when. That'll come out in the next couple of months. But obviously kind of cool, exciting. We saw how cool it was when the Buck as well, and the crowd was obviously really. And yes, it does take away a home game, but it's the year where you have the extra home game, so I guess it balances out in that regard. If you are excited, of course, we all are for the playoffs this weekend, you just have to be the fifth caller as well right now to win one of those playoff prize packs from our friends at Rally House, 913-586-7610.
Next up on What's Trending, Missouri getting a big win for them last night, 75-71 over number 25 Arkansas. A controversial call with the game tied late in the game. Let's be controversial. It was a bad call. That was a phantom foul call where a guy, no one was near him, and he fell back and got it. But doesn't matter. Missouri's not going to apologize for getting the win. They've had a really difficult schedule lately. They had just fallen out of the top 25, but beat number 25 Arkansas and right their ship last night.
Next up on What's Trending, the Royals reportedly have shown interest in free agent veteran reliever Aroldis Chapman. 35-year-old lefty, of course, he has interest from other teams, including the Padres and the Marlins, according to MLB.com. There's also some video that was tweeted out just of him getting some work. A couple years ago, I should say, in 2021, he was an all-star, 3.36 ERA. But the only part that makes sense about this for me would be, all right, you bring him in, he has a great first half, great first half of the season, you flip him, you can actually get something.
Reliever market's been very good the last couple of years.
I don't hate it if that formula actually works, where you think he can have a really strong first half of the season for you, and then flip them. Now, if you're Chapman, are you interested in coming to Kansas City? That's the other part, right? The Padres are interested, and the Marlins. I'm not worried about the Marlins, but if you're Chapman,
that's the same, yeah.
The Padres or Kansas City.
I mean, I think at this point, he's probably looking for the check, the fact that he's trying to get back on there, and he knows the same as we do. The team he's starting with this year doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the team that he ends with. So that can obviously change the things a little bit as well. Next up on What's Trending, Live Golf has found a U.S. broadcast partner. The Saudi-funded Breakaway Golf Tour has secured the broadcast partner from the CW. I don't know why I wasn't expecting the CW, a channel that seems like it was specifically designed around teen dramas, but I don't know.
You don't think Live Golf
it doesn't exactly match like Supernatural or Mars or whatever else it
fits with Riverdale or whatever these days on the CW. Look out, man! They got a U.S. TV partner now. Nick's gonna be watching.
I don't need. What else is on CW?
That's it. That's all I got. That's
here we
I had to Google one of those.
You know, like shows that go off the air on other networks. New Girl.
All right, so you're gonna laugh.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The show that is on currently, right this second, is a show called Walker, and I don't know if it's a spinoff of Walker Texas Ranger.
Wait, I don't think I'm familiar with that show. Can you guys remind me of any scenes in the history of that show?
So it's a spinoff of the Texas Walker Ranger, or Walker Texas Ranger, I should say.
Walker told me I had AIDS.
Yeah, it's a spinoff of that.
Their most popular shows were just like B-movie superhero stuff, right? Like Smallville.
Yeah, right now it's Blue Mountain State.
Or Gossip Girl. That was
CW?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Dude, it's designed for like 16-year-old. It's a channel designed around 16-year-old girls, which seems perfect for golf.
And they just wanted they wanted a U.S. TV partner, and the CW's cashed it in. We know they're getting paid nicely for that.
Yes.
Next up on what's trending carousel continues. Bucks have fired their offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. Remember, just a year or so ago, he was one of the hot offensive coordinator names to be hired to become a head coach. This is a reminder, I think, clearly that if you're an OC and everybody is seeking you to become their head coach, you might want to take it when the opportunity is there. This is why Hudson's the OC for the Lions. He turned down head coaching jobs, reportedly, and he's going to stay with the Lions, getting a promotion. If suddenly the Lions' offense in the next year or so, Cody, goes back to being bad, Ben Johnson, they'll fire your ass still, and you'll miss out on the head coaching opportunity. So I actually feel bad for Byron Leftwich because I don't believe it was all him. I just think that team is a mess right now. I think they have a bad head coach as well. So Byron Leftwich, his path to becoming a head coach, of course, just got way tougher. He's going to have to go become an OC very quickly.
Another OC just out as of seconds ago. Greg Roman out as the Ravens offensive coordinator as well.
Interesting. Okay.
Dude, if Eric Bieniemy wanted to do a lateral move at OC, it's never gonna be easier.
What does that mean for Lamar? I think that's what's interesting too.
Well, Greg Roman did a really good job designing that around there, but I don't know more Greg Roman. He had in Baltimore as well. Lastly, on what's trending, don't forget tomorrow, Rally House, 10 until 2. We'll be there. We'll have prizes to give away the entire show. That 1 o'clock hour will be uninterrupted by commercials. Live, our MJ Melendez, Michael Massey will be co-hosting with you and I for the entire 1 o'clock hour tomorrow at Rally House near Oak Park Mall.
Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to be out and about doing our show. It's not often that we do our show live on location, and it happens to be a Red Friday. We're gearing up for the postseason, and we've got a couple Royals rookies stopping by for the entire 1 o'clock hour. So it's going to be a lot of fun if you want to say hello to those guys and also have a chance to win some maybe gift cards while we're out there. All that's on the line tomorrow.
Important. According to sources, CW was bought by Nexstar with the idea of making the audience older. So maybe my comment about 16-year-old girls in the CW was wrong. They're moving that's according to sources.
Sources. Television insiders. Television insiders, man.
So who knew?
They're trying to pump up the CW.
The older audience. I would starting with golf as a probably safe bet. I just don't know who's watching the Live Golf Tour. That's all.
If it's on TV,
more likely.
People obviously are far more likely than trying to go to the studio. What was it on YouTube TV last year? Or
just not YouTube.
Yeah, not even YouTube TV. I'm sorry. Yeah, just regular YouTube is what it was on. This past season. Obviously a big step for them. We'll get to all 32 in the NFL coming up in about 6 minutes or so. Don't forget Andy Reid. Also, at 1 o'clock, we'll carry that live here on your official broadcast partner for the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio. I think it's kind of interesting looking at the coaches remaining on the AFC and the NFC side. We spent a lot of time talking, understandably so, about this crop of quarterbacks. And by the way, Dak Prescott is the oldest quarterback remaining in the postseason, which is funny because he's kind of in that no man's land anyway. He's not part of the young tier. He's certainly not 36 years old. He's just sitting there at 30 or 31, and he's just kind of in between everybody. But the coaches, I think each one certainly you can make a case like what it does for their legacy if they do a Super Bowl and win it. Heck, for some of them, even if they win this divisional round weekend, I still think out of them, if you tell me Kyle Shanahan gets to a Super Bowl and this time it's with the third string quarterback losing 2 quarterbacks, I understand there's a lot of talent on that team, but if he does it with Brock Purdy and gets there and maybe wins one, it vaults him in a completely different category. He gets talked up already as a great schemer.
He takes a 7th-round rookie who came in as the third quarterback.
It puts him in another category because right now everybody looks at him and says, he's one of the better coaches in the league. Nobody disputes that. He's one of the better coaches in the league. And everybody says nobody schemes better than his scheme works. You can plug and play. Clearly, we've seen it with Brock Purdy. But he doesn't have the ring yet, right? He doesn't have the ring yet, and people still remember the blown lead in the game against the Chiefs.
And he still barely has a winning record in the regular season, which is weird.
Yeah, and the blown game as a coordinator, even if you don't think that's all on him, but still blown as a coordinator, 28-3 Falcons blown lead to, of course, the New England Patriots. So I think like that matters a little bit too. I think Kyle Shanahan's the guy that has a chance to change his legacy quite a bit more than maybe anybody else other than the guys that like a Sean McDermott that just kind of sitting out there.
I think it's Andy Reid. I know that sounds like how title because Andy is stuck between the place of a Super Bowl head coach and simply being in the category of one of the 5 greatest head coaches of all time. He's going to do a lot of those other things just statistically, right? Wins, win percentage, total playoff wins. But if you're going to be considered one of the 5 greatest coaches of all time, you have to have more than one Super Bowl. You just do. And getting a second one would mean that it's possible he could go a lot higher than that. But just so you know, puts you as one of like 13 NFL coaches of all time to have two. So that already puts you in rare air. Get to 3, and there are only 4 coaches who have more than that. So you're in the top 5. So to me, maybe it'll mean even more in a year where he has 2 and he's trying to go to that 3. But you have to get to that number first. I think that there's an argument that he could do it. The most interesting ones to me, because I think it's Andy, you think it's Shanahan, but there are a couple that make it fascinating. Because what is Mike McCarthy's legacy if he wins it? He'd be the only NFL coach, or Doug Peterson, but both feel like long shots. They're the only NFL coaches in NFL history that would have 2 with 2 different organizations. So that in its own right would stand alone. And Doug completely heralded, like they would go into, it's like nobody's ever, like they would jump the most ladders, if that makes sense. People already think Kyle Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the NFL. I think they would jump the most ladders. Doug Peterson would be from that guy who won that Super Bowl that one time to, oh my God, is Doug Peterson one of the best, is he the best coach in the NFL? I think he jumps tremendously.
The biggest leap is if somehow Brian Daboll upsets the Eagles in year 1 and gets to a Super Bowl. I mean, he already, to me, put together Coach of the Year season.
Sure.
I don't know if he's going to win it.
What's funny is, like, we know when we're talking about these legacy things, those ones are long shots. Doug Peterson, Brian Daboll, those don't have real probability to actually end up happening. The McCarthy one is fascinating because he does have one of the best teams left in the NFC, and Shanahan needs it. But I really think Andy Reid gains almost, like his legacy part jumps huge in the top 5 coaches of all time with a second Super Bowl win.
Well, then let's look at just favorite to win this weekend. Based off of that, if we want to look at the coaches in that way. So that means, obviously, Andy Reid, Sirianni, Sean McDermott, and Kyle Shanahan. Out of that group of 4 coaches.
Is it weird that I don't feel anything about McDermott's? Nobody talks about him like a top 5 coach. He's just like a coach. He exists. He's good. Good coach.
He hasn't.
Nice job.
I mean, in fairness, he hasn't made it to a Super Bowl.
Does his story change?
Like Kyle Shanahan at least has made it to a Super Bowl. Obviously, Zach Taylor has.
Sirianni hasn't, but he's in the early stage.
I think that's why. I mean, I think looking at the talent on those roster being all in, like if this year, and we fast forward another year or so even, and he hasn't to a Super Bowl with Josh Allen, there will be a lot of criticism, I think, still towards Sean McDermott in that way. Now, this year, the way he's handled everything, I think, is been awfully impressive.
He just doesn't get talked about like it's not like Sean McDermott should be like 2 years away from getting the Andy treatment. Like, oh wow, you're this good of a coach and you can't win. But nobody even talks about him as like, oh, he's that good of a coach. Nobody bashes Sean McDermott. But either of you, do either of you guys know anybody who's like Sean McDermott is one of the 5? Like, does anybody even make that argument, or they're all just like he's fine?
Yeah, he's not top 5. I think he's fine, and I think he got a lot of criticism, understandably so, for the 13 seconds and how he handled the kickoff. Right, and now you're doing that dropped him down a peg for some people.
The thing about that is that every single coach. I mean, let's just say you believe that Andy Reid and Bill Belichick are the 2 best coaches in the NFL. Those guys both have many, many, many of those instances, and I feel like sometimes you're right. Like,
but they got the rings.
It's not unfair. Yeah. No, I know that. What I'm more so saying, broadly speaking.
Yeah.
I feel like we tend to really hyper focus on like the late game clock management, 4th down decision stuff when that's such a small piece of the pie that goes into being a great head coach. Because if you want to judge coaches just based off that, well, they've all got major mistakes that have cost teams game. I think that's just sort of to the territory that comes with being a head coach.
Yeah, I think to me the biggest knock on McDermott, my biggest question is, you have the third most talented quarterback in the entire NFL, and you can't get to a Super Bowl. Like, and I know it's only been a handful of years, but it's like, well, that's enough. That's enough years.
That is ridiculous. Enough? It's been like 3 years where they've been relevant. And
that's the problem, yeah. The Josh Allen years are tough because we know when he came in the league,
like a decade.
Yeah, I know.
It's been 3 years.
Well, who do you think it is that takes the biggest jump in legacy? Is it McDermott then?
Well, I don't think about it like who takes the biggest jump. But to me, it's like who
the most on the line.
Yeah, that's it for me. Like who has the most riding on
it's McDermott,
probably.
Yeah, it's Sean McDermott or Mike McCarthy.
Because the Bills have the most on the line.
It's Sean McDermott and Mike McCarthy then for me.
Why Mike McCarthy?
Because it's the Dallas Cowboys. Because anytime anybody slips up, people are ready to fire him as the
Cowboys head coach. He gets to send the biggest shut up to everybody if he wins this. All the people that made him a joke, and we talked about like his quarterback. Oh, he had a little coaching circle that he made up partially. Like, it's like all the stuff that you made fun of for Mike McCarthy, that dies. He wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they're not the favorite in their even. I mean, they're not even the second favorite in their own conference. So it's tough for me to say he's got a lot riding. Like, because I don't think at this point.
I think nobody because last week,
expecting them
if he would have lost to the Bucs, if he would have lost to the Bucs on Monday, which he obviously didn't, but if he would have, there was his job. He was fired.
Yeah, I just mean with the Eagles and the Niners sitting there, who are both better teams.
I know,
than
but
them.
the Niners are starting a 7th-round rookie. I know they're the favorite, which seems crazy. Right now, they're the betting favorite over Philly, even though they'd have to go to the link in the NFC title game if they were both in. But it's a 7th-round rookie, right?
Yeah, I think the answer's probably Sean McDermott, and maybe to a slightly lesser extent because he's already been there, Zach Taylor. But we talked about this earlier. The windows don't close on Taylor very quickly once you have to pay T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. And then the year after that, you're going to have to pay Jamar Chase, and all of a sudden, boom, you're going to find yourself where that cap flexibility is out the window. So, like, you've got to maximize, and we know this. The Chiefs were able to maximize the window of Mahomes being on a rookie deal. The Bills missed that window. Will it come back to bite them? We'll see. The Bengals are right in the middle of that right now.
We'll get to let's get to all 32 in the NFL, sponsored by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. And also, don't forget to keep on listening for your chance to apply for that autographed Humphrey football. Juju Smith-Schuster. Those of you that have heard Juju Smith-Schuster throughout the show, you just want to be the 6th caller whenever you hear that. Thinking of coaching, Brandon Staley finally had some media this week, end of season wrap-up, and was asked about what we all saw happen on Saturday, which was coaching malpractice and getting out-coached by Peterson. And he was asked, did you think you got out-coached?
Oh, Bill, I thought it was a tight game. I thought that for a half, I thought I wouldn't say that was the case for a half.
For a half?
That's not what you should have said.
I wouldn't say that. For a half, no, for a half.
I also agree that for a half, he was not out-coached.
Yes.
If it makes you, I thought maybe he out-coached them for one half.
I would say 27-0, 27-7 heading into the break.
It's just not how to say it.
And also, I would argue, I don't know if Brandon Staley was out-coaching necessarily Doug Peterson at the time. You had Trevor Lawrence making mistake after mistake after mistake, 4 interceptions.
He did not help himself. The final 3 weeks of the season really dinging his reputation.
Fired though. Next year, of course, on the hot seat immediately heading into the season. We all know that. And anything less than a playoff win next year is it for Brandon Staley. Like, that's the bare minimum for Staley next year. Playoff win. Bare minimum. Anything less, it's an automatic go for me. And even if you win a playoff game, it may not be enough to say, he's
you better at least lose to a good team in the divisional round. Yeah.
He's in a spot now where he, somehow, can you find a way to win the division even? Which is laughable to me. But, that's where you've put yourself now because of underachieving.
From one thing that should have been said away to another. Rob Gronkowski made a really good point on the Kay Adams podcast this week. He's doing a little bit of the rounds. He went on the Kelsey podcast, one of the Kay Up and Adams, I believe is the name of it.
Yep.
Podcast. And he went on our podcast and he made this point about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, when he was asked about it on the McAfee show, about his future, one of the things he made a point about, he's like, I still want to win MVPs. I still think I can win MVPs. And Gronk made a good point. He's like, why the hell do you care about that? You got too many of them. It doesn't matter. You have enough of those. The only answer for what you should count if you Aaron Rodgers is Super Bowl wins. I still think I can win Super Bowls. I still want to win Super Bowls, and Super Bowls are the only thing I care about. Mentioning caring about winning MVPs when you're 38 years old and already a handful of them, you don't need any more MVPs. The only thing, Gronk's right, the only thing Aaron Rodgers should be focused on right now is, can he still win a Super Bowl with this team or another? And what is the best spot in order for him to do that? Because legacy-wise, if he gets through all this as being one of the most talented quarterbacks in NFL history and one Super Bowl win, people are always going to knock him for that. That should be the only focus for him going forward.
Amen. Well said. Astute observation, Cody. We were just talking about coaches who have the most to gain. What about players who have the most to gain over the next couple of weeks? To me, this is the easiest answer between these remaining 8 teams. I'm curious if you guys are thinking the same guy.
Josh Allen.
It's very obviously Daniel Jones.
He's already gotten paid with what he's done, and he's already getting a nice extension.
What happens if Daniel Jones takes the Giants to the NFC Championship?
Then he gets an extension.
He gets another year.
But I'm saying, like every game he wins, that price tag is going up from a guy who looked like he was on his last leg to start.
He only threw 15 passing touchdowns this year.
The price goes up, but if you're asking me, like, he's not, even if you won a Super Bowl, he's not getting a deal to make him the second highest paid quarterback in football, if that's what you're asking. No way.
And that's what we said about Joe Flacco back in 2014.
Well, look how that turned out.
But they gave him the deal.
Yeah, and that was a mistake.
Well, but that's the thing. But they won't. And that's just sort of like, I know he's not getting a Joe Flacco deal, but it goes to show that, like, if you win, especially for a franchise that's sort of uncertain with the quarterback situation, I mean, think about how much they've been searching ever since Eli Manning left, even at the tail end of the Eli Manning era. If he takes them to the NFC Championship game, and I know none of us are like actually considering the idea that the Giants could go to the Super Bowl, but if they do, like, be prepared for a mega contract.
Like right now, he's already going to get a lease extension.
What do you think it looks like right now? I mean, seriously, because we know that number just continues to go up and up for quarterbacks.
Yeah, 3, 4. Look, we're having a conversation.
90.
We're having a conversation about, like, does Justin Herbert for sure deserve to be the second or third highest paid quarterback in football? So why are like, and they will, like, Daniel Jones is not going to be the second or third highest paid quarterback in football.
I agree. You don't have to be the second or third highest paid quarterback in football to make $30 million a year.
And that's fine. He's already done enough where he's going to get a really nice extension.
Is that already a mistake? Like, if you're the Giants,
I don't think you can win a Super Bowl with Daniel Jones. No. But again, if we play that game, then how many? Like, you can't play it like that, because how many quarterbacks should get extension? Then we would be down to like 5. We'd only be agreeing for 5 guys.
Spot Track had the estimated contract extension of like 3 years, $76 million.
Yeah, so if he gets
that's easy to say before the playoffs started. He wins you 2 playoff games.
It changes. Instead of a 3-year deal, it's a 4 or 5 year deal, and it's $140 million. You know, that's where it goes. That moves to that territory. He's not. He's not getting a 6-year deal for $190 million. He's not getting. What was Kyler Murray's contract? He's not getting that.
No, what was that, like $145 million guaranteed or something?
No, but he can just get that, like, that last Kirk Cousins, like 390, 3 for 100, like whatever.
Kyler was 5 for $230.
Imagine that was fully guaranteed.
189, sorry. Which, by the way,
that contract.
That's nearly
$6 million a year.
That might be worse than Russell Wilson's contract, by the way.
Geno Smith's another one. I mean, we know Seattle says they want, like, Geno is going to probably make $34 million a year.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if it was like a 4-year, $115 million deal for Daniel Jones.
Crazy.
Which is going to significantly impact your ability to build a good roster when you're paying a bad quarterback that much money. But you know what? He has an improved season. We'll give him credit for that, and he looked really good last week against Minnesota.
He definitely did. Hey, that's all 32, presented by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Our NFL playoff coverage also is brought to you by Centric. Learn more at centric.com/610. Up next, though.
My body is my career, and shaving my pubes is no different.
One thing we've noticed. Vince, we'll tell you what that is next.
Cody and Gold on 610 Sports Radio, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANasphalt.com.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue KC. Live healthy with Blue KC.
It's Josh Klingler on location today until 1 o'clock. The Mission Hy-Vee, 6655 Martway Street. The Super Cart is here. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. We have a couple of autographed footballs to give away as well, and more. I'll tell you about that coming up. Hy-Vee's one-stop shop for watch party and tailgate needs. The official grocer of the Chiefs means all kinds of Chiefs gear, paper goods, party decor for your party, party trays, and amazing Chiefs-themed cakes, cupcakes, and cookies. They have the best-made scratch dips in town. The street corn, oh my goodness, it is fantastic. Today only as well, Hy-Vee's 12-hour sales underway. Huge savings throughout the store, including wild Alaska crab clusters for just $9.99 a pound. All right, the Super Cart is here. What's that mean? Scan the QR code on the sure to win 4 tickets to the Saturday's game, plus parking, plus a $100 Visa gift card. We also have 2 autographed footballs to give away, plus a $250 Hy-Vee gift card. So come find me to register, and the winners will be drawn this afternoon. Again, on location till 1 p.m. at the Mission Hy-Vee. Elevate your tailgate at Hy-Vee.
You make plans for dinner, plans to get that new job, or plans to spend more time with the family. Having the right plan can make a world of difference, especially when it comes to your health. That's why Blue KC offers health plans plans with coverage you need right here in the city we all call home. With a Blue KC health plan, you can enjoy $0 copays at Spira Care Centers, access to a broad provider network, and much more. Enroll in a Blue KC health plan today. Call 888-892-8108 to get started. That's 888-892-8108.
Don't miss the National Fishing Expos Kansas City, January 20th through the 22nd at the KCI Expo Center. Fishing season starts now with over 60 free seminars with pros from every corner of the sport, all while experiencing huge savings on all your tackle needs, all under one roof. 2 kids, 17 and at the National Fishing Expos, Kansas City, this January 20th through the 22nd at the KCI Expo Center. For information and tickets, go to nationalfishingexpos.com. Presented by Wholesale Batteries, the right battery the first time. Come explore aisle after aisle at locally owned Lucas Wine and Spirits Superstores for thousands of different wines, craft whiskeys, beers, and other fine spirits available in-store or online at lucaskc.com. Lucas Wine and Spirits Superstores.
For the perfect game day cocktail, you really only need one ingredient. Red Kingdom Vodka, the official vodka of the Kansas City Chiefs. Red Kingdom Vodka by Kansas City Distilling Company is part of the J. Rigger & Co. family of brands.
If you are a business owner, listen up. And remember the website, getrefunds.com. If your business has 5 or more employees and managed to survive COVID, you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. It's a little-known program, but it's out there. It's a payroll tax refund, not a loan, no payback. It's a refund of your taxes. Now, the challenge is getting your hands under the red tape, get your business the refund money they have coming back. Well, go to getrefunds.com. The team of tax attorneys they put together, highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program, and have already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. To find out if your business qualifies, just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. They do all the work, no charge up front, simply share a percentage of the cash they get for you. Don't miss out. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates, so while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules in Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chard with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSweep, and Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Guys, fellas, men, are you Roman ready for Valentine's Day? Right now, generic Viagra, aka Sildenafil, is just $4 per dose at Roman. Just complete a free online healthcare professional. If medication is appropriate, Roman sends everything right to your door with free shipping and in discreet package. .co/Viagra to get generic Viagra for just $4 per dose. Do it by February 8th for 20% off and guaranteed shipping by Valentine's Day. That's ro.co/Viagra.
Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Technicians you can trust with your house keys.
At Anthony, we get the job done the first time. That's why you know us as the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Right now, receive 50% off a new furnace when you purchase a new AC. Schedule online today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
NFL playoff coverage on 610 Sports Radio is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Back here on Cody and Gold. Reminder coming up in about 25 minutes. We head out to Arrowhead. Going to hear from Andy Reid, head of the Chiefs-Jags game. We did see with some of the reports coming out of practice today, though, from our guy Pete Sweeney. Not surprisingly, but no McCall Hardman once again. It's like playing again. Spoiler. He's not playing. Next weekend.
Wait, you're breaking that news?
Yeah. According to Common Sense, I think is actually where we're at now.
You named your kid that Common Sense.
So it's like the opposite of reckless speculation.
It really is. It is the complete opposite. You're not playing this
What's
week.
that sounder for us? We know what the reckless speculation sounder is.
I don't know, the Common Sense sounder? I don't know.
Usually it's just someone saying it, you know?
Thanks. Do you disagree?
I thought I could use some sound or something.
Do you disagree, though? I mean, look,
No,
we
he's
know
not.
how this
He's
works.
not playing.
We know how this works. You don't play when you're
I'm
not
willing to
practicing
pretty
all
much
week.
rule him out for next week, too. But
I won't go that far yet, but it seems unlikely for next week, yeah. I mean, you have to practice.
Career over?
No.
Okay, we're dialing in.
Yeah.
Although this is a weird mystery injury. Mystery injuries are never good.
I hate mystery injuries. The injuries I like are the ones that you know are coming.
And what they are.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of injury, Nick?
Grade 1 ankle sprain.
I'll probably get out later that week. Barely missing any time. That may be something more like a broken arm. You know, something that feels like you can recover from but doesn't keep you out forever.
That sucks.
I broke my arm a couple times. It's fine.
It still sucks.
Ruptured spleen.
Of the different injuries I've had, broken arm was pretty low.
Anytime you hear the word rupture,
It's
it
not good.
sounds bad.
That's not good, yeah.
Yeah, well, they ruptured Achilles. I'm like, pass.
No,
all of that. Or ruptured neck.
Ruptured pec, dude.
Yes,
that sounds awful.
Well, no, where you're like they tear their pec muscle or whatever. Like
I think
that's
the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
That's yeah. Oof. That's why I don't work out, Nick. I don't want to rupture the pec.
Yeah, you don't want to rupture the pec. That's one
It would
thing
actually
you
be
don't.
fun if you started to work out and as a result of that ruptured your pec. That would end all working out.
You know the injury that's always just.
I mean, for me,
I've always thought about what would be the worst feeling in the world if you broke your jaw.
Well, then you're drinking out of a straw for a long time too.
But just like that idea,
my job would be problematic.
Out there and like getting like lockjaw. That sounds.
Cody's right though. It's like
a skin crawl.
In our job, it's the worst. I'm just going to be out of work.
No, I'm not talking about work-wise. I'm talking about pain.
Well, both. But yeah, pain-wise. Now, look, I mean, Nick. I guess theoretically, Nick, you could still come to work. We just wouldn't have you tell him we just not. But you just not talk.
Just not say anything.
Talk for 2 months.
We're going to one of those computers that like I can say things I can just chime in way too late. Just computerized voice.
Oh, there definitely would
I'm coming in.
There definitely would be a bit there somewhere if Nick actually had a
Whopper, chicken, Whopper.
Nick would just put together all kinds of sound bites and drops for responses. That's all he would have.
Could you imagine Nick delivering that Walker Texas Ranger line, but put it in his robot voice? Not good for anybody.
Told me I have AIDS.
Oh my goodness. We'll get to the random question of the day.
And stay tuned for the Juju Smith-Schuster sounder to try to win prize. So great.
Yeah, again, we're qualifying people throughout the show. Whenever you hear from Juju Smith-Schuster, that'll be your cue to be the 6th caller, and that's how you'll qualify for an autograph Creed Humphrey football. The Jacksonville defense, we talked enough about them because during this stretch of wins, and since week 10 when the Chiefs beat them and they went to 3-7 on the year, this defense has been much better. It's kind of why I brought up the offensive line and still that's an area I'll be keeping an eye out for the Chiefs in this game because the Jags are also 3rd in sacks here down the stretch.
Well, and I think that's surprising because Kansas City stayed at the top of that list, and we weren't expecting it. But it feels like I treat Kansas City. Sure, they're third in sacks down the stretch, but do you take them serious as the better pass rush units in the NFL? I asked you that about Kansas City. You take them as serious as San Francisco or the Dallas Cowboys, teams who ranked, in cases, worse, right? In most cases, worse. Philadelphia's number one in the league. Do you consider Kansas City as good as San Francisco, Philadelphia, or Dallas? And your answer was no. Do you consider Jacksonville as good as those?
Of course not.
And that's it for me.
Also, but you're asking me, like, those are top 2 and 3 defenses. So,
no,
basically, like, do I think Jacksonville and Kansas City are a top 2 or 3 defense? Of course not.
But I mean, from a sack perspective, Jacksonville and Kansas City have been as good, if not better, than some of those teams down the stretch. I take them very seriously as a defense for a couple of reasons. But mostly, the issue I have is I don't think they've actually tested all but once. So I'm having a hard time buying into the Jags defense when this is the list of quarterbacks they've played. Dobbs, Davis Mills, Zach Wilson, and Prescott. They let up 34. I think it was maybe still Tannehill at that point. And Jared Goff, who they let up only 14 to, and that was actually kind of impressive because Detroit did score a lot. Oh, I'm sorry, they let up 40. That was the opposite.
Okay.
So they let up 40. So the two offenses they faced that ranked anywhere near the top of the league this year, Dallas and Detroit, they let up an average of 37 points a game. Like, I don't know, Gold. I mean, I get that they're getting more sacks, and that is impressive, and that certainly propelled them to wins. I'm not trying to knock their entire schedule. I just think they're okay on defense. And okay on defense, coupled with the fact I watched the Chiefs' offense destroy them, in my opinion.
I mean, the one thing,
and their effort makes me not worry about it as much.
I think they're going to get pressure on Mahomes. The question is, will they actually get sacks this go-around? They did not the last time. The one thing that they do give up, to your point about what the quarterbacks have done against them in particular, is yards. They give up, like the last 4 games, it's like 6.8 yards per attempt, the Jags, going into this last weekend game against Justin Herbert. So they're giving up plenty of yards on pass plays. I mean, if you're giving up 6.7 yards per attempt, your teams are moving the ball, obviously, on you consistently and not having much problem, which the Chiefs not much problem.
Now, they were great in that second half against the Chargers. And that is one of the better offenses in the NFL. So I'm not trying to completely dismiss it as being, hey, they have no chance. They shut down Austin Eckler, who's been one of the best running backs in the NFL. I just feel like they are what the Chiefs are. So it's like, okay, your defense is better. You're getting sacks. I appreciate that. The point Danon made is the months in the sacks. They get turnovers. Especially against Kansas City, a team that's giving the ball away a lot. That's more worrisome to me than the sacks. I'm actually not worried about the offensive line, but just a little. You know, a normal game of what if Orlando Brown Jr. doesn't play well. I think they'll hold up there. I'm more worried about, can Jacksonville take the ball away?
Is it that Jacksonville can take the ball away, or is it more just like, hey, does the turnover bug just bite the Chiefs again?
No, it's both. Jacksonville's one of the better teams at forcing turnovers, and the Chiefs are one of the worst at giving it away.
The one difference is, like, the Chiefs at least recently have been able to force turnovers themselves. Like, it's not, the concern of them turning it over, but the one difference, this defense over the last couple weeks has been able to get takeaways themselves, and that's also, I think, what's changed a little bit on the turnover differential and the turnover discussion, is that something the defense wasn't doing early in the season, or much of the season, I should say, was getting the interception, getting the fumble recovery. We've actually seen that. I mean, we saw it play out, of course, in the Texans game. They don't get that fumble. They don't, they may tie it to the Texans if it's not for Willie Gay and Frank Clark, I guess, in on that fumble.
I would think that that's at least part of it, but it's, again, I understand where the concern is about the defensive line, because I think people still don't want to believe in what the Chiefs do, from an offensive line perspective, because they don't want to believe in what Orlando Brown Jr. or Wiley, which was, because it was a pretty scary. For a while, it was a pretty scary offensive line situation because they didn't feel like anybody was going to make it done. But I don't think they're going to stop Kansas City. I think they're too deep. They don't have enough pass rushers to do it. And they don't have the dominant one like Chris Jones, They have some of the guys that, they get to the quarterback, they can do it, but they don't have that guy on the defensive line, the guy who just ruins it for everyone. Not that having a lot of good guys is bad, but you still kind of in the play.
NFL playoff coverage brought to you by Twin Peaks Eats, Drinks, Scenic Views.
Random question.
For you, Gold, for you, Nick, and over in the text line, 913-586-7610. Of course, the random question today brought to you by The Windows Kansas City. Nick, so I guess I was going to ask you which restaurant you claimed to have interested in putting a menu item on for us, but we got to continue the conversation from yesterday when I told you guys I want our name on some stuff. Want to get the Cody and Gold brand out in the world, and I want to work with some local Kansas City businesses in order to
doubling down on yesterday's question. Couldn't come up with it.
No. It was we didn't get finished this part, and you wanted to have the conversation.
We talked about it for so long.
What are your top 5 chips?
Chip flavors?
I think that it would include both. Like, to me, a chip flavor, like if Gold just says plain, original.
It's classic and barbecue are the only 2 chips I need in my life.
I'll go number.
So you're not even going to give me 5?
Classic and barbecue.
Okay,
I don't like salt and vinegar.
I'm going to go sort of rapid fire. I'm going to say first overall pick, sour cream and onion Lay's, the thin, no ruffles, no ridges, just the crispy sour cream and onion Lay's. That's your first round pick. That's your leading score. That's a franchise changer. Second pick, I'm going to go the Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips.
Good chip.
I mean, that's really just a glue guy. Lockdown defender, right? Going to do all the big things. High IQ, never going to lead the team in scoring, which is super solid. Third pick, I'm going to go with the Ruffles Sour Cream and Onion.
Not the cheddar?
Sour cream and cheddar, yeah, sorry. The cheddar and sour cream, yeah. That's like your 3.
You like a cheese chip.
That's like your 3-and-D guy, you know? A bit too much, sometimes a volume shooter, but you need one of those guys on the team. And then at the 4 spot, like my guy who's just going to be a rim runner, rebounder, dunker, that is your Cool Ranch Dorito, right? Like that's just... You need him to just go out there and sort of do
like an unlikable team.
The dirty work down low. And then
Cool Ranch guy.
And then fifth overall pick. This is a little controversial, but you're going for high ceiling with the 5th round pick. I am actually going to go with just salt and vinegar kettle chips.
So I will take a kettle chip in mine, but just the plain. Like if I'm eating a plain chip, I want a kettle chip. That belongs in your 5. A classic plain chip belongs in your 5. It's just not your only 5. I think the Cool Ranch also has its place. Spicy Nacho Dorito is, I think, the best of the Doritos. They have a lot of good ones, but I like the spicier one. So you don't have any spicy chips.
But I gave you a 5-round. I gave you 5, and I would maybe substitute the jalapeno chip for the salt and vinegar. But I wanted to get a kettle chip on the roster.
I was worried. I wanted the kettle chip. I like the black pepper ones, like the salt and black pepper. But I felt like I couldn't. I also like the jalapeno kettle chip. But I felt like I needed just like the work.
Yeah, you know what? Is it too late? Is it too late for me to swap out the salt and vinegar kettle for the jalapeno kettle?
Yeah, the jalapeno kettle chip is a great chip.
Yeah.
Great chip.
I've got sour cream and onion, Harvest Cheddar, cheddar sour cream.
I think Lay's or Guy's barbecue.
Corange, I know what you're doing. You're posturing, and then jalapeno kettle.
No, I think barbecue is one of my favorite kind of chips.
I don't need 5. I mean, it's
no.
It is barbecue, kettle cooked, regular. It is Tostitos. It is a original Pringle. You
know what you're doing? You're cruising for the first overall pick next year with that roster. I mean, my roster's going to hang. We're going to beat you by 40. Our backups, our walk-ons are going to be in with like 8 minutes to go against your team.
Love my list. It's what I like.
You don't have 5 guys. You don't even have a starting 5.
I don't need 5.
He says it's his list. He's refusing to alter it.
Dude. I mean, like, what do you have against... What do you have against flavor?
It's like those...
I said barbecue.
That's the only one, though.
Those online memes that people make fun of people and just some white lady cooking a chip, no seasoning on it. That's Gold's chip choice. Just no flavor. I want 0 flavor on these chips. So you would choose both kettle and regular?
Yeah, they're not the same thing.
They're not. I'm not arguing that.
On my palate, a regular Lay's is not the same as a Ruffles original. Is not the same.
Food segments.
It's not the same.
Oh my gosh! Dude.
Any chip that has sour cream involved, I'm out. I told you.
Someone's asking about Funyuns or those kinds of things. It's a novelty chip. Nobody goes to the store and is like, you know what I'm going to get? I need a bag of chips. Yeah, Funyuns.
You're 100% right. And you can't count crackers, so no Cheez-Its, none of that stuff. Like, this is a chip draft. I'm the only one who gave a starting 5.
I was trying to list mine off, and then you interrupted. I was trying to include the jalapeno kettle chip into my mix, and then you stole it for your own team.
Yeah, that's true. That's mine now.
You're just keeping that one.
Okay, fine. You can have it, and then you know what? Actually, maybe I'll do. Maybe I'll grab the Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
You know, I never got into the hot chip.
Yeah, man, those are good.
I don't think I've ever had a Flamin' Hot Cheeto. Should I be giving that chip a chance?
Dude, we sell them.
Should I be giving that chip a chance?
Absolutely.
I didn't feel like you had enough spice.
They don't feel too great coming out the other end.
What about? I think I mentioned pretzel crisp. Those are on the list.
I would say, what do you know? You got the
original version. It tastes great.
Gosh. Okay. Right. And it's not even. I don't even care that you did it into the microphone. I care that it's the plain chip. And and now you're just being like arrogant about your plainness.
This top chip is not one I've had in a long time, but I used to eat a lot of. The Tostito barbecue twists. I don't feel like I see those in a lot of vending machines, but that wasn't regular.
You're talking about not Tostito. You're talking about Fritos.
Yeah, the curly
honey barbecue.
Yeah, honey barbecue.
You like those better than the chili ones?
Than the chili cheese ones?
Yeah, the chili cheese ones are fire.
I also like those, but I think I like the honey barbecue.
I love this. This is my favorite thing. So this happens about, I don't know, month or so, whenever we'll talk about something, Gold has a bad take, and there's always someone in the text line like, no wonder he's single. And I just love the idea that there would be women lining up at your door if it weren't for your boring chip taste.
That's right. Man, he likes Tostito chips and Ruffles. I'm out.
He's a great guy, treated me really well. We get along super well. But he's just, I don't know, it's a deal breaker.
That would be a weird reason to not be interested with.
A lot of people are saying Pringles. I don't remember the last night.
So my kids really like them.
Really good. The original flavor.
It's okay. It's a filler chip. It's just there to exist. It doesn't.
I'm glad nobody is texted and said on this show Fritos because those aren't
just on their own.
Yeah,
I like them as a topper. This is why a tortilla chip.
Not normal Fritos, but I think the chili cheese Fritos are.
But we're talking about
Fritos on some chili.
We're talking about out of the bag.
Out of the bag, no good. That's why tortilla chips don't work. Tortilla chips need a dip. Not in your case.
Who says what's Gold's Chipotle order? A bowl of white rice and pinto beans.
We went over this ad nauseum.
It's white rice, pinto beans, a little bit of the veggie, regular steak. We get a little pico. We get a little cheese. We get a little corn salsa. That's what we roll with.
What do you order when you go at a restaurant?
Give me a restaurant.
What's your safe order?
Give me an example. I need a type of restaurant.
Upscale American, let's say. Like American bar food, right? But nicer.
I mean, if American bar food, just a classic hamburger and fries, but otherwise, my favorite meal is the steak and baked potato. That's my favorite.
What do you put on the potato?
Nothing.
Butter only.
Literally butter.
Okay, what about on the burger? What all comes on the burger?
I used to not like cheese, but over the last couple of years, I switched.
That was the thing you used to not put on it?
So hamburger, medium, cheese, ketchup, tomato.
What? No lettuce?
No.
No onion?
No.
Okay, so
pickle.
I don't really mind a tomato, but it's just interesting that you go tomato and ketchup. You don't need both. And also,
absolutely you do.
Why don't
flavors.
Swap the tomato for some lettuce?
I don't need lettuce on it. I'll eat lettuce if it happens to come on that. I'm not going to turn it down. But if they ask me, what do you want on it?
I need that
crunch?
Sort of not just the crunch, but sort of the refreshing palate cleanser that lettuce provides you. It's not there for taste. It's just there to it's an additive, you know.
It's the random question of the day.
Someone says people who order burgers medium disgust me. You know what disgusts me? People that order their steak well done. That's disgusting. It's not steak. It's burger.
Oh, are they saying they want you to have it more done or less done?
I would assume
they more done. They think it's
more done.
They said you're not supposed to eat hamburger unless it's cooked all the way. People who order their burgers medium disgust me. Yeah, definitely medium on the hamburger, medium on the steak as well.
Is that true? I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, I mean, anytime you're technically not supposed to have any a pink in the meat or whatever. Theoretically,
I know, but is ground beef different than
all I know is hamburger medium, steak medium is all I'll do. Medium, you start getting into the
medium burger, medium rare steak.
There you go. That's fine too.
Nick, would you like to just go ahead and get that out now? How do you order your burger and steak?
Well, you mean a lot of times you order a burger, they don't ask, but I'm the same as Gold.
If it's a good burger place, they will.
Usually, I like to go medium rare and steak, but yeah, I'm kind of more aligned with Gold and just I want flavor, the best taste it has. I'm not going to order a burger and then have it just.
Someone said, "Wow, no one mentioned Guy's chips." I said Guy's barbecue chips.
Yeah,
here we go again.
Yeah, and that's not by accident. I mentioned Guy's. We'll just put it that way.
Wow, a good local company.
I support them.
You hate local business, or do you like big businesses, like big corporations?
Somebody just brought something up. If you get the wavy Lays, the original wavy Lays,
original,
and
yep.
then you use them, I'm going to lose you here because then you use them. You take the French onion packet, mix it with the sour cream, make the French onion dip. Boom.
Yes, but I think for the chip draft conversation, it has to be a standalone chip.
That's right.
Not require the thing that goes with it, because otherwise everyone's list includes tortilla chips. We did so many things. They would deserve their rightful place here.
Speaking of this draft that we just had, there may or may not be a draft show / podcast in the works. No,
about chips?
Well, we could be doing. There could be more drafts like this coming to a radio station near you. In fact, this radio station.
This one,
yeah, and feature myself and Jay Binkley.
So you guys are drafting food?
Well, I'm not saying I'm not saying we're always doing food, but I don't know. I thought this went pretty well. We'll steal it.
Just draft food.
I don't think anyone's ever done a draft segment on the radio before. So
no.
Innovators.
But what if we did a draft segment in a draft show?
That might be a first.
I don't think anybody's ever talked draft shows.
Other drafts?
Other drafts, yeah. And then we'll talk draft beer as well.
Well, you'll have Binkley hooked on that.
And then we'll talk about draft dodging from the Vietnam War.
Good Lord.
Vietnam War.
Well, that was a common war that was dodged.
Oh man.
I'd skip the last one if I were you.
Really? I think it's a topical conversation.
Of all the draft ideas you had inside the draft show, skip that one.
We'll run it by spec.
Okay.
He likes us to get political.
He also likes it when we just continue this random question for as long as possible.
Yeah. He likes it when we take a 5-minute conversation and turn it into a 13-minute conversation. Big fan.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about Trevor Lawrence screwing things up if you want, but I kind of like this conversation.
Well, it's 12:54,
So you don't think we should start a new conversation?
Next time, let me ask you, you mentioned you like the Guy's chips, you like Guy's nuts.
That was their advertisement joke for many years.
So, no?
Yeah, big fan.
Okay, checking. Up next, we'll hear from Andy Reid out at Arrowhead.
You're listening to Cody and Gold, brought to you by Gant Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gant Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Episodes of Nick's Waving in the Week. Possibly every Thursday on the 435 Podcast Network and the Odyssey app.
Josh Klingler with you on location until 1 p.m. today. Mission Hy-Vee, 6655 Martway Street. Come on by. Look for the Hy-Vee Supercart. You can't miss it. Scan the QR code that's on the Supercart. You'll be automatically registered to win 4 tickets to this Saturday's game, plus parking, plus a $100 Visa gift card. Hy-Vee, your one-stop shop for watch party and tailgate needs. $7 Mia Italian take and bake single-topping pizzas, delicious and dipping sauces, party trays, and amazing Chiefs-themed cakes, cupcakes, and cookies. Huge selection of official Chiefs gear as well, paper goods, and party decor. Here's more exciting news. Hy-Vee has added an extra day to score big savings at the pump after the game. Win or lose, shop Hy-Vee Sunday and Monday. Turn a fuel discount equal to the points the Chiefs score based on the amount you spend. Make sure you're swiping the Fuel Saver card Sunday and Monday. Also, we have 2 autographed footballs to give away, plus a $250 Hy-Vee gift card. So come find me to register. The winners will be drawn this afternoon. Again, location till 1 o'clock at the Mission Hy-Vee. Elevate your tailgate at Hy-Vee.
The NFL is heating up, and with FanDuel, every play is a rush. New customers join today so you can bet the divisional round with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. I think the divisional round is the best weekend of football. Best teams, best quarterbacks, the best coaches, and the best app in America to gamble with when it comes to FanDuel. All you got to do is use my promo code CDOT. America's #1 sportsbook app has all your favorite bets from the money line, point spread, player props. Plus, with FanDuel, you can combine your bets for a chance at an even bigger payout with the same game parlay. All in the app. The same easy football. Don't miss out. Place your first $5 bet. Get $150 in free bets. Win or lose when you use my promo code CDOT. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Also, 610 Sports Radio. 21 in President, Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even
handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at .com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just in IT, build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
You make plans for plans to get that new job, or plans to spend more time with the family. Having the right plan can make a world of difference, especially when it comes to your health. That's why Blue KC offers health plans with coverage you need right here in the city we all call home. With a Blue KC health plan, you can enjoy $0 copays at Spira Care centers, access to a broad provider network, and much more. Enroll in a Blue KC health plan today. Call 888-892-8108 to get started. That's 888-892-8108.
The all-new, pure, beautiful women. Best VIP rooms. Half-price bottle service every night. Pure, 350 Highway and Millen Road. Party at Pure till 3 a.m. Check out Pure.
When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So, if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Cold weather is here, which means cold weather inside your house. Stop paying those high heating bills and get new Energy Star rated windows like I did from the Window Source of Kansas City. With lead times back to normal, a best price guarantee, and a lifetime warranty, there is only one place you can choose. The Window Source of Kansas City. Call 913-333-6706 right now to get a free estimate. That's 913-333-6706 or go to windowsourceofkc.com.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
In the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to a warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, Cars announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers. Call for a free quick quote. Call 800-978-5309 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for a free quick quote today. 800-978-5309. That's 800-978-5309. What do you have to lose? Call 800-978-5309. Again, 800-978-5309.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue KC. Live healthy with Blue KC.
The Kansas City Chiefs are looking to win the championship, and Metro Ford is winning with new inventory coming in and opportunities to make great deals. View our inventory online at kcmetroford.com. You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios.
Chiefs Kingdom, this is Mitch Holtis. Catch me every Monday at 4 with C-Dot on the Drive. Hamburgers? Maybe. Chiefs football? Definitely. On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City. WDA always live on the free Autos app.
1 o'clock hour here on a Thursday. It's Cody and Gold. We're going to head out to Arrowhead in just a couple of minutes. Going to hear from Andy Reid before the Chiefs take on the Jags on Saturday afternoon. So it's a Snitch Line Thursday, so that's coming up in about 15 minutes. Anything you want to get off your chest heading to playoff weekend? Something you've seen happen? Something you're planning on doing? You don't maybe want people to know about
on air
publicly?
today. Something maybe you heard Nick did in Germany through his friends.
Something you're planning on doing?
Yeah, something you might be
We're
planning
getting
on.
to future crimes.
Yeah, something you're planning on doing, but you don't want your name attached to it. This is anonymous. We don't mention your name. We don't mention your phone number. None of that. 913-586-7610. The Snitch Line is coming your way in just a little bit.
Like if you were thinking this Friday was the day you were going to break up with your girlfriend?
Stuff like that.
Kind of thing?
If you need advice, yeah, all advice, we're here for you.
Will you be going on a second date this weekend?
Yes.
This is date number 2. You guys haven't seen each other since, what was that, Sunday?
Saturday. Since the bar fight. It almost happened.
Oh, okay. So you have not. You have not seen each other.
We're
Dinner?
busy. It will be dinner, yeah.
Not just drinks, dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've had drinks twice already.
What kind of vibe are you going? What's your strategy?
Haven't got there, Nick.
Have you decided on the
Okay,
restaurant?
but what's your general strategy for second date? Is this more of a casual, but like a casual dinner?
Just what?
Would you go for a drink after, hypothetically?
Depending on how it goes.
And you will be going out on the plaza?
Actually, I think we're going to go right across the street from where you live, Nick, and that way we can come by and say hello to you, so you could be informed of what's going on.
That would be awesome. Wait, when are you going out? Friday or Saturday?
Saturday. Are you going to be around?
I'm going to be in Lawrence.
Oh, dang it. Darn. Otherwise, I would have, man. I would have.
Your place.
I would
for the evening.
Why would I need to have my own? Why on earth would that even be?
Because if you guys can't wait,
very nice place.
Can't wait to get home.
You're going to eat right next to it. You know.
We're definitely not. All right, let's go out to hear from Andy Reid.
Going forward, but it's not for lack of effort. It's just so, and he's working through it. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Jags. We know they're a good football team. Obviously, everybody playing right now is our good football team. So we like the part that we're able to play at home here in front of our home crowd. We know they'll be wild. And our guys have had a good week of practice. We've just got to go out and execute and do the things that we do. So, anyways, with that 10 years.
Any chance of activating Fortson or Clyde?
I'll go back and talk. I haven't talked to Veach about that yet, but probably not, I tell you.
Coach, with Frank Clark limited practice the past 2 days, what do you anticipate for him for Saturday?
Well, you know what? I just talked to him, so I can tell you this hot off the press, right? So he actually feels very good, and he practiced well today, and really yesterday.
Andy, everything you do offensively and want to do offensively, once the postseason comes, it's been that group of your offensive line the whole time through. What luxury kind of is that to have that so steady together?
Yeah, it's also good that they get along. I mean, that group is a tight group, and normally does with most teams, I think. So, but they enjoy playing with each other, and they do well. And just the familiarity, especially when you get into games and all those things. I'm saying twists and things that go on from a good defensive line, in which they're going to be playing. Those two inside techniques are powerful men, and the two outside guys can fly. So it becomes very important.
I remember when the Jags came to town earlier, even though the record wasn't great, you had mentioned that it looked like they had really bought into what Doug was doing. Yeah. I'm assuming with the hot streak they've been on and getting through that game last time, you're seeing really more good things from them on that front.
Yeah, you bet. They've improved every week, and and they have bought it. Doug's done a great job, as his coaches have. I mean, it takes everybody. So he's done a nice job with that group.
Coach, after Jags did last week, any extra notes to keep the pressure on if you guys do build the lead and that's finished?
One of the neat things is I saw it. So you don't have to say much. I mean, that was a great job by them, by Jacksonville. So our guys they're obviously aware of that. That 4 quarters of football. You get to this round, and these games are normally separated by one score traditionally. So you gotta play for 4 quarters, absolutely.
On that game Saturday, you've dealt with quarterbacks your whole life, and young quarterbacks, and Trevor got off such a rough start. Can you kind of put yourself in Doug's shoes on how he was able to kind of get him right to go out there and do what they did?
Listen, he did a great job. You see that clip from one of their offensive linemen talking to him, and they supported him, and that's what it's all about. And the kid's won ever since he was in grammar school, so he's a pretty good player.
And I have to ask, Germany, the news today, your overall thoughts on that. It's official. You guys have the opportunity to go there.
Yeah, listen, I got to tell you, I haven't thought about it. I look forward to getting a bratwurst. I mean, I haven't thought about it. I mean, we're so focused on that's dead, and front office are doing that. So.
Good.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, that's Andy Reid out at Arrowhead. Of course, talk about Germany at the end there, but they'll have all off season and next year to talk about.
Nick said he should look for that prop.
I'm sure. I'm sure the food will be incredible out there. Now, look, we expected it, but Andy Reid pretty much confirming it there. McCall Harmon going to be out for Saturday's game. He did say it's unlikely that Clyde and Jody Fortson would be active. He said, well, probably not. As far as whether or not Jody and Clyde would be activated from IR. Again, I think all three of those things, what we all expected to hear. Everything was trending in the direction for McCall not to play. He hasn't practiced all week, and it seemed maybe a little too soon to bring Jody or any of those other guys back.
And something else I think that should probably be mentioned is that not only do they sell like normal bratwurst in Germany, one of their more popular items, it's more shaped like a hot dog, but it is like some sort of combination between a hot dog and a bratwurst, but they inject it with Swiss cheese.
So it's like smash burger.
I don't know what that is.
Smash burger has things inside of the burger. You've had a smash burger before.
It's like a better version of those like cheddar wursts. So it's like real.
Sounds good.
And I'm telling you, man, they have these things, man. They have these spikes that they shove the Kaiser roll on, and you just shove the dog into the roll, so it's covered on all sides.
Great.
It's so good. It's so much better because then you don't have to worry about the condiment spill on your shirt, man.
You could have started a food truck and gone with that method. I
cannot believe that has not made its way to America yet.
You're offended that it hasn't.
Like, we're still doing buns the worst way possible.
It's a lot of
Step
infrastructure.
it up. No, it's not. It's one little thing you sit on your table and you shove the Kaiser bun on it.
You gotta cook the roll a whole different way, probably. Yeah. Who knows?
It's a Kaiser roll, Cody. And you should know. You of everybody should know.
I don't know. The injected hot dog or whatever. Just
what do you mean,
dude? Get out of here.
I want cheese inside of the hot dog.
Well, you don't have to get it like that.
You should.
Well, that's what you're saying makes it good. You just told me that's what makes it good.
Do you not like bacon and cheese stuffed inside a chicken breast or something? Or you just
no?
Oh my God! I can't believe we brought the food back up. Why don't you even bring this back up, Nick?
I like bacon, but I don't want it inside the chicken breast. Bacon on top of a grilled chicken sandwich? Sure.
You're a weird guy.
Bacon on top of a grilled chicken sandwich is fine, but I don't want the bacon inside a chicken.
There's so many dishes.
I'm not saying I don't like you. I'm just saying I don't get you.
He's now sending us a video of their Kaiser roll. It does look convenient.
That's the video? Hold on, let me watch.
Nick, I'm impressed. A live photo. I am impressed by the way that it works.
And if you zoom in,
how much does one of them? Because I'm looking at the photo.
$5 or something.
That seems like a lot of food for $5.
It is. I could finish it.
Yeah.
And also, just like zoom in on the thing in the middle. Like if you go to the very middle, you see these little. It's kind of grainy, but like in the background, you'll see this little thing. It's about a foot tall, sitting on the back desk.
I see it. Just like a big.
They just go. They shove the button on that, and boom! It just pops the hole out.
I will say this: the woman in this photo looks very annoyed by you being sure.
No, she doesn't. She was posing. Look at her.
Yeah, she's got a little smirk on her face.
Yeah, look at this jerk.
She's not.
And she's holding the dog in the hand.
She looks like she'd prefer you not take that photo.
Dude, you gotta chill. She liked that.
I don't think so. I think you should put it on the internet and we can get a vote, but I don't think she enjoyed that photo.
Oh my gosh, you're a weird guy.
I don't think so.
She enjoyed it.
I'm interested in
That's not all she enjoyed.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. Sometimes I just say stuff.
Moving on, I guess.
You guys want to hear from Juju Smith-Schuster?
Like, actually hear from him?
Yeah.
No, like, actually.
He's in.
Let's hear from him.
It feels to be on this side of the ball, and it's amazing. I would say, yeah, last year it was a tough situation coming in here, playing, a great team, and now that I'm here and I'm going into this game, playing against another good team, but like I said, it just feels good to be on this side of the ball.
Your coach was just saying that Nicole's likely going to be out, but you guys as a unit have seemed to do a really good job of making up for that production while he's gone. How do you see that continuing into the playoffs now that it's started?
I mean, like I said, like guys like KT, Sky, they're stepping up in a big role. Miko's a great player, and he's helped us out tremendously, and he's still helping us out now. Getting the guys ready as far as the stuff that is carried for Miko. Guys like us, I think the chemistry is everyone just work together. It's for the number one goal, and it's to win the game and make it to the next round. So it's just nice that we have so many players to play different positions and still go out there and still perform.
How has he been helping you guys behind the scenes?
Yeah, just in meeting rooms, helping us out. The young guys, just kind of what they do.
Juju, with the Jacksonville game last time, the lessons you kind of learned from that one and take it to this, what you can improve upon, and what you saw in that secondary unit that you think, okay, maybe things will be changed this time around.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a defense that's, an aggressive defense. They play hard, they attack the ball, and that's something that, happened last game, and even just past game, playing against the Chargers, you can see that, they're not going to quit. They have a high-power offense, just as we do, so it's going to be nice. It's a good game, gladiator football, what I would say.
You obviously were injured in the game against them last time. When you go back out there this time against them, I mean, you look for that guy?
No. I just play ball at the end of the day. I think everything's going to set up how it's meant to be. I don't think about the pass. Like I said, I think Cisco's a great player. He's an aggressive guy. He plays hard. He has those big hits. And supposed to say that, I just got to play harder, and that's just, the respect game that he brings to the table, and just what we had to bring to the table. So as far as just going out there, just playing ball, and just know what I'm used to.
When you saw these guys come here last time, they were in that kind of low part of their season. When they left here, they turned it on. Did you think in your mind, wow, that looks like a playoff team when you guys played last time? Or did something maybe special happen for them down the stretch?
I think, everyone brings their best A game, and I would say this, even teams that we beat, really good teams that we beat in the past, they come out and they go on a game winning streak and, beat everyone. And that's kind of how we see Jacksonville. That's also how I see the 49ers, like another team that's first team, really good team. And now both those teams are playoff teams. So I would say, yeah, Jacksonville's a playoff team. They're going to come in here, a lot of energy, and they're going to give us their best game.
Juju, Todd mentioned the big San Francisco after all, just to
kind of... Yeah, I got a DM from him. He stood up my DMs, huh? He apologized, and it's all good. I appreciate it, and I know, man. He's been in the league for quite some time. I know his game. He plays hard. He's a good player, so there's nothing wrong.
Hey, your teammates were pretty emotional though afterwards about that hit. Do you just sense that they want to match physicality in this game, that sort of thing? After
I mean, when someone goes down like that, in my case, look around the league. It's been a tough subject. When players get hit and they go down, everyone's so emotional. One of my really good, family friends, Tua, and he's going through situations. So for me, everyone around us is very emotional, but I guess going into this game, we're just so pumped and ready. We haven't played ball for 2 weeks now, so it's just more so for us to go out there and just showcase, for our fans.
Andy said earlier that Patrick has adapted well with change, and particularly with the receivers. As a unit, how do you look back on how all that has developed going into play?
Yeah, I mean, you have so many different type of receivers that Pat's dealing with. Small guys who can move around, fast, slow, whatever you want to call it. He has it, and he's going to adjust, and that's something that he's really, really good at. But not only that, you think about the running backs that we're using. We're using 3-4 running backs in the game. We're using 5 different receivers, using 3 different tight ends. So for a guy like Patrick Mahomes to go in the game and know everyone's tendency of what they have, I mean, it's the chemistry is there, and he's been in it day in, day out, and you'll see it, this Saturday.
Do you see a difference between, regular season Patrick and playoff Patrick? Is there a difference there that you've observed, or is he just pretty much the same as always?
I think he's always had that same mindset of just going out there and dominate on and off the field, how he is in person. But I would say the intensity is a lot higher, playoff game, postseason. You know, it's elimination round. You know, you win or go home.
Juju, what would it mean if you guys won Saturday and got the opportunity to play in the AFC Championship game?
It don't mean a lot, man. It mean a lot for a lot of us. You know, even for myself. My rookie year, I got it to this far and then lost against Jacksonville, and it's not the best feeling. You know, so for us to go out here, get this W, get this win, and get ready for next week, it's going to be huge for us. And a lot of young guys too, man. Like Pop, Sky, like they never been to a season like their season is long. You know, usually in college you don't.
Way earlier.
Yeah, like late December if you don't make a bowl game. So I think it's just for us, for all of us, to just, man, we just want to play ball. We've been sitting on our butt for 2 weeks, you know, just training, practicing. So I'm just gonna have a lot of fun.
Is there something that you learned, or what? Maybe a couple examples of something that is maybe more than expected from the time you first got to OTAs and going down to Texas, from either Andy or Patrick about this offense and the way they go about things that maybe has surprised you along the way?
Not really. No, honestly, it's been the same.
As expected?
As expected, you know. Go straight personalities. And, you know, we got them cheeseburgers, so.
Now we're continuing with the food theme today on the show. Thank you, Juju, for bringing it home there at the end. Juju was, of course, asked about the last time they played Jacksonville, which was the game in which he was concussed and had a very serious hit from Andre Sisco, who he said actually DM'd him after and apologized. It was basically saying, you know, there's no ill will there. Quote, they play hard, they attack the ball, they're not going to quit. It's going to be a good game. And let's go right back out there. We haven't heard from number 95, 15 and a half sacks this year, Chris Jones.
The ball, you know, talk to all the young guys about how it's going to get faster and faster, and everything changes. How real is that, and how much do you feel more comfortable going into these games later in your career from what you've been earlier?
It's a little different. The game speeds up, the level of intensity, the level of discipline you got to have to make sure you minimize error and maximize potential. So I think we beat the young guys up over the week to understand what type of level of play we need from them and the expectation playing playoff football in Arrowhead, Jayhawks, wherever stadium. Excuse me. My apologies. That's okay. Jayhawks.
When you guys face these guys in, I guess, November, when they left, did you think that looked like a team you might see? I know you think that a lot during the season. Did they surprise you with that?
No, actually. I had a conversation with Bob Sutton prior to the last game. And in the tunnel, I told him we may see you guys again in the playoff. We got a good young team. Once they put it together, they can be very special. Leaning on with the quarterback and DP, Doug Peterson, they got a special connection going. So they're a tough team. Got a nice defense also. So they're leading those guys in the right way.
Chris is in the first meeting, Frank didn't play because of his suspended. What do you think he might be able to add or provide for the rest of the Packers, given that he just was the few guys that wasn't in the first meeting?
Look at Frank Clark's resume. What he does in the playoff, it speaks for itself. I think he's tied 5th or 6th in the playoff in sacks. Got 11. And, you know, his resume speaks for itself. We know what type of player Frank Clark is, especially in the playoffs. And we're going in and expecting Frank to be Frank. Glad to have him healthy, and we're looking forward to playing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The defensive line, for you, especially with 15 and a half, 2018 total, but then the defensive line total, how have they been able to help you get to that total and match that 2008 total, and just evolution of that defensive line throughout the season to now?
I think it's accumulation of the D-line room, unselfish guys. The D-line coaches, starting with Joe Cullen, assistant Terry Braden, staying with me before and after practice, me committing to wanting to be the leader, be the best, committing to improving my pass rush from last year, me committing to make sure that I put the extra work in, and it shows. I give all the credit to my D-line. Being unselfish, some guys taking 2-3 people at times so I can get to one-on-one and Spads scheming for me. It's a lot that goes into that. The success of one player, especially the players around you or the players in your room, committing to you and letting you receive whatever that may be, a specific play or them taking on over gaps. And, it's a game of football, unselfish guys all doing it 111. And I'm truly appreciative for the guys I have in the room.
You're not much, obviously, an individual sack, especially in the playoffs when it comes to wins, but just how sweet will that first playoff sack be if you're able to get it?
I thought you was going to dodge the question. Unfortunately, I have, 10 to 11 playoff games, no sacks. That's not a huge priority, but I make sure I get one this go around just to shut you guys up.
Chris, I asked this to Juju a little bit ago, but just obviously you played in the AFC Championship game last year. What would it mean for you, given all the work that you've done, to have another chance to play in that game and go victory on Saturday?
We got to get that first. We got Jacksonville coming up. We've got a good team who's looking to come in with the expectations of winning. That team is a complete group of guys looking to make their mark in this league. So we got to take care of these guys even before mentioning the AFC Championship and thinking too far ahead. Let's just handle that, focus on how we're going to stop these guys.
Chris, in that game against Jacksonville in November, Colin Summers had some big moments. From playing shoulder to shoulder with him, how far has he come in the last few years?
I think his maturity speaks for itself, his growth this year. I think a huge part of that is bringing in Joe Cullen, Terry Braden. If you look at the overall defensive line from last year to this year, I see a tremendous jump in level of play from all guys, whether it's Colin Sanders, whether it's Derek Nottie, whether it's Mike Dana. And then you bring in a rookie like George Karlaftis. He finished the season strong. And we harp on it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. But Colin, in particularly, we've seen it in training camp, how he's attacking, his demeanor, his level of focus, his level of domination in training camp. And it just shows on Colin. Unfortunately for him, he didn't get to play as much last year dealing with injury in the years prior. But this year, we asked Colin to take that next step in his game, and he's shown a lot of improvement, especially for coming off the bench and being able to make splash plays throughout the season for us, high caliber plays that we needed from him. And I think it's been amazing just to watch him grow alone.
Chris, just how much are you looking forward to another playoff?
Listen, it's always special to play. Not a lot of teams are in this position, especially where we at, being fortunate enough to receive the bye. But just to be in the playoffs particularly, that margin of error is so small, and the level of intensity. I know Arrowhead fans are going to be crazy. GEHA feel. But yeah, the intensity is crazy, man. It's something that can't be explained. You actually have to feel it. You actually have to be there and see that level of the game. But it's also a pleasure these moments for granted.
You mentioned Joe Cullen a couple times. If you could look from year to year, what's the biggest thing maybe Joe brought to the table that had the biggest impact for y'all?
I think more so is communication and level of understanding. Understanding like where this group is trying to go and where we at. Being honest. Honest is a key thing. Communication. As long as you can be honest with a player, I think he'll respect you. Honesty goes a long way, to be able to look a man in the eyes and tell him what you truly feel about him and where you see him going. That takes a player a long way. And the belief, when you're truly honest with someone, you believe in them. And I think that brings out a level of fire that they don't even believe they have in themselves. So with Joe Cullen, what he done for this room in particular, you look at last year, we was 20 in sacks. You look at this year, we're like number 2. It's the same guys. No, we brought on a rookie. With a rookie, expect a tremendous jump first year. We brought in Carlos Dunlap. It's 13 years, so we didn't expect him to go out having 10 or 11 sacks. But we particularly got the same guy in the room. It's just about getting everything that those guys have each day, and on Sunday letting them play.
Chris, in the tell me about the mindset to make those splash plays. You've got a knack for making big plays at big times in games. When you're a pass rusher, you can't always get there, right? And maybe 15 sacks, you rush times during the year. How do you have yourself ready at that big moment to make the play when you really need it late in the game?
I think it's more so, it goes back to training camp. 18 play, 19 play drive for Coach Reed, getting that mentality that whether it's the 12, whether it's the 18 play, it's a possibility. It might be a small possibility that you can get there, but as long as you're giving your all, you can make a difference. And with me, it's like, as long as I'm able to rush the passer, I'm going to try to rush the passer and win. Whether it's the first play, the last play, or the play to close the game. In the fourth quarter, whenever it's on the line, I get a little extra up in me because I know how important it is. And I've just been fortunate, man. I've been very, very fortunate this year.
Chris, just talk about how important it is to play a complete game on Saturday. Jacksonville came down from 27 points and came back and won, and you guys struggled last year in the playoffs with being down. How important is it to play both fourth quarters?
Yeah, Jacksonville shows you their resiliency. Last week, 17 down, right? 27, excuse me, no pun intended. 27 down. And then be able to come back and win the game by 2. That speaks volumes. That speaks what type of you're dealing with, right there. They don't quit. And coming here, we know we're going to have to play fourth quarters, maybe overtime with these guys because that's a competitive group. So looking forward to it. And hopefully we don't go down 27 to them and have to come back. Hopefully we can.
On Germany?
Yeah, I've seen it. I can't wait to get over there.
There you go, Chris Jones.
Okay. We got to discuss something here before. I know we got to go to break.
Yeah,
but
late.
We got to discuss something here about media members just clapping their hands, laughing.
Don't you know how this works?
That's not a joke.
Don't you know how it works? If you are an athlete at a podium, for whatever reason, media members.
That wasn't a joke.
Any comment is way funnier to media members for whatever reason.
Earlier when Juju made a joke, somebody had to gasp. They were laughing. They go, like they were laughing that hard. All he said was, "Can't wait to get over there." Like he's for Steve Martin up there.
I think it was.
Can we tone it down a little bit?
Though.
The Yeehaw thing was funny.
That's fine, but can't wait to get over there. We're just crapping their pants, laughing
If you want a chance to win another playoff prize pack from our friends at Rally House right now, be the 5th caller, 913-586-76. And up next, though, we had a chance to catch up with the Hall of Famer, the 3-time Super Bowl champ, Michael Irvin. We got his not only the Cowboys, what the Chiefs have to do on Saturday against Jacksonville.
Kelsey to the end zone.
Cody and Gold brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Don't miss the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. And right now, we're offering a free treatment just for coming in. That's right. You can try this treatment at no cost. If you suffer from ED or post-men's health, a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
Call now, 913-363-9439. That's 913-363-9439. 9439. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Old Johnny Pizza has expanded to the Crossroads with their OSP Express. Go to ospexp.com to order, and you can use any third-party delivery system. Located in the Crossroads Food Stop at 16 Campbell. Go to ospexp.com to order your favorite Old Johnny Pizza. Come explore aisle after aisle at locally owned Lucas Wine and Spirit Superstores for thousands of different wines, craft whiskeys, beers, and other fine spirits available in-store or online at lucaskc.com. Lucas Wine and Spirits Superstores.
Hey everybody, this is Andrew Filipponi here, bringing you the parlay of the day, brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Giants, the feel-good story of the NFL season, surpassing all expectations. That'll come crashing down Saturday night. Have we forgotten about the great statement game against the NFL run defense? So here's the Hurts parlay. Over passing yard prop, over rushing yard prop, anytime touchdown score. Put those three together, $100 bet, collect over $600. Hurts so good. That's it for the parlay of the day by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app today and make every moment more with America's #1 sports book.
21 plus in President, Kansas. First online real only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem can come as your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
The Kansas City Chiefs are looking to win the AFC Championship, and Metro Ford is winning with inventory coming in and opportunities to make great deals. Metro Ford has new and low-mileage pre-owned options right now on site, including the Raptor, Bronco Sport, and the always popular F-Series. Head to Metro Ford off Nolan Road in Independence, just 15 short minutes from downtown, or shop online at KC Met large selection of new and pre-owned deals. That's KCMetroFord.com.
4 months. 4 months is all it takes to become a pro in a new field, and one that is more in demand than ever. The career of IT. In the IT field, Centric is the real MVP. The results speak for themselves. With 1,500 companies and counting that have hired Centric grads. Reach out to Russ Mondry today. He will walk you through your career options and discuss Centric's hands-on approach. Learn more at centric.com/610. That's CENTRIQ.com/610. IT is the future of Kansas City. Let Centric make it your future.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more. And you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger. Professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Paid for by government.com.
Did you hear? The new 2020 Eagles are available in a perfect 10 grade for the first time ever. That's right. The American Eagle Silver Dollar in perfect 10 grade, just like perfect 10s for sports cards. Coin experts are calling this the biggest event of the century for coin grading. You must hurry. Very few silver dollar coins will receive the coveted grade of perfect 10. These American Eagle Silver Dollars are brand new, 99.9% pure silver legal tender coins minted by the United States Mint. Available now in perfect 10 grade for the first time ever. Just call and you are guaranteed a new perfect 10 Silver Eagle. With limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. If you order now, you'll receive a free collector bonus over a $10 value free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your new perfect 10 silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-969-0686.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks Vapor Rub. Cough relieving is believing.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up, for lead guitar, you're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
Chiefs coverage on 610 Sports is brought to you by Park & Go. Book parkandgo.com.
Park & Go makes airport parking fast and stress-free. Stay clear from the winter elements with covered parking and free instant shuttles. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go. Family owned and operated.
NFL playoff coverage on 610 Sports Radio is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, back here on Cody and Gold. Be listening. You'll have another chance to qualify for that autographed Creed Humphrey football. One more chance before we get off the air today.
Last chance.
And, of course, tomorrow we're going to be out at Rally House for Red Friday from 10 to 2. Michael Massey, MJ Melendez going to co-host the entire 1 o'clock hour tomorrow. This time tomorrow we'll be having a good time with MJ Melendez, Michael Massey, live at the Rally House in Overland Park, the Oak Park location, right by Oak Park Mall, 95th-ish in Quivira. That's where we're going to be.
The best Rally House location.
It's a great store. Great spot. It's the one I can go to. Right out, not too far from me.
I believe the Plaza location is the closest to me. So
probably, man.
But this one's the best one.
It is one of their bigger locations, I do believe. Yes.
I've only been to it like once.
I think it might be.
You know what I need?
Biggest.
I'm going to the KU game on Saturday.
I
need like a KU.
Okay,
how many KU hats?
You should go to Rally House then.
Will you guys pick me up one? I'll get you back.
Go ahead and Venmo us. We'll get a Venmo ahead of time, please. Thank you.
And then will you deliver it to my house tomorrow night after the show?
No.
I'll buy you a beer.
You can stop by Rally House. We'll figure it out.
Rally House. Elite jingle.
It's a great jingle.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Let's do a contest for the Rally House gift cards we'll have to give away. And you have to see how many words you can get right in the Rally House jingle.
We'll do something because we do have gift cards tomorrow to give away. That's for sure. Hey, earlier today, though, we had a chance to catch up with the Hall of Famer, the three-time Super Bowl champ, Michael Irvin, our Odyssey NFL insider. And, of course, we talked some Chiefs with him, but we started asking Michael about the extra points from Monday night in the Bucs and the Cowboys game, and not just one missed extra point, not two, but how about 4 of them?
Right, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Dude, and let me tell you, because I was at the game, for one of the first games I got for the Cowboys. I was supposed to shoot first take and get on the team to get to New York to do inside the NFL, but I talked them out of it. I said, no, guys, I got to stay here. I got other stuff to do. And then I'm going to get on a plane tomorrow morning and come up there. They had to push back the taping and everything. But, so I'm at the game, and he misses. I'm really doing box appearances, with this box appear first quarter, that box appear second quarter, this box appear the third quarter. So after he misses them, I got to get ready to change box. I'm walking to the next box. I get on the elevator. He misses one. I'm on the elevator. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm talking in tongues. This motherfucker, he does that again. I look up. Some people, I must have been saying it pretty loud. I got people with their phone videotape. I said, okay, everybody, listen. I don't know what I just said about my, don't nobody, please don't post that. Please don't post it. Because you know them everything. Everything. Boy, you miss another one. You must them coming down that football field. Boy, I don't know what I'm going to do. I tell you what, it's Tom Brady on the other side. We ain't got time to be leaving no point on the football field when the greatest of all time is right over there, and he getting the quarterback there. He getting the football next. Stop messing around. You know how to stay away from the kicker. I'm about, hey, no. I read this. Somebody DM Mar. They DM'd him, and they said this to him, right? They said, boy, if you miss another extra point, I'm going to go the rest of these playoffs. I'm going to come and stick my foot so far up your, boy, every time you spit, it's going to be a toenail in there. You know what I'm saying? Every time you spit, it's going to be a toenail in the spit. So I'll put my foot so far up your booty
funnier place in the NFL locker room, Michael, than being a kicker after missing a bunch of kicks at halftime?
Well, when you win, it comes out okay because it's a joke. But the lonely road is if you lose, miss those kicks. I mean, people are looking at you like, whoa, it's a whole different thing, man. All we need you to do, all we need you to do is get that little piece of leather through those goalposts. That's all. We ain't gonna let about this. That's all. It's a foul if anybody touches you. It's a penalty if anybody hits you. Just get that darn ball through them goalposts and stop playing around.
We also heard Jerry Jones talking after the game. He said he was discussing hunting techniques with you. What's the story that he mentioned of rubbing noses in the blood of the opposing? What was that all about?
I was trying to share with Jerry. Comes when you win a game like the uptick is all the notoriety you get when you know for Tom Brady. It'll be instantly felt now by these group of people, by these kids, because of Instagram. You don't know the uptick when I was playing because there's a few media outlets that handle it. Now that it's individual. Yesterday I wasn't on First Take. I was shooting inside the NFL, so I couldn't do First Take. But I saw it the instant response. I don't have to wait to know some bring back ratings. I saw the people on social media. What the hell is this? Where is Michael? What is going on with this? You know what I'm saying? So you get instant response to what's going on now. The Cowboys get instant response. And I said to Jerry, this kind of win can be like how they train the hunting dogs. You know how they train hunting dogs? They train the dog to hunt by taking a dog, all right, and they make the kill, and they smear the dog nostrils in the blood of the kill. And the dog gets such a thirst for blood. They call this hunting technique first blood. I said when you win a game like this is like that because you get such an uptick from it instantly that it's like first blood, and hopefully they're so thirsty for more that it makes them hunt, and win, and win. It's called first blood. Now, I know about these hunting techniques. Somebody said, Michael, how many times have you grabbed a gun? How many times have you went hunting? I said, with gun, none. But I went hunting with a glass of vodka in my hand in them clubs like a mother brother, if you know what I mean. I was hunting like Daniel Boone in that mug. You see, so I know about hunting, just not with a gun.
My body is my career, and shaving my pubes is no different.
Flipping to the AFC side by the Hall of Famer Michael Irvin here on Cody and Gold. Chiefs fans, here in Kansas, we heard the Jags. We didn't want to see the Chargers the third time. We didn't want to get Herbert again. We were kind of asking for the Jags. Should we be? Right. Should we worried about that?
We're the worst people in the world. We're the worst. Why do we this way to get our team to the Super Bowl? That's why last Sunday I kept saying, we won't Tom. We won't Tom. We want Tom. Everybody said, man, you want Tom Brady? Yeah, we want Tom. Why you want? Because I know we've been averaging 30 some points a game. They've been averaging 14, 15. I know 30, 20, 15 all day. We want Tom. We want just like we want the Jags. We want the Jags. Because you try to map out that path, the best path for you. Now, they're all going to be hard. Ain't no easy path. That's why I said the best path that you think from the matchup standpoint. And yeah, I'm with you on that. That our game was hard because they know you so well. Why you think those games, all those games, Miami wasn't supposed to play Buffalo like that. Buffalo was supposed to play Cincinnati like that. They had backup quarterbacks in playoff games, but it was a division. And when you're in a division, you play each other so much, things are different, they're more difficult. That's what I'm talking about right there, buddy.
When you look at the AFC, I kind of view it as like we're pretty much, the AFC's, if you're another team, you're kind of screwed, Michael. It was Brady, it was Manning, and it was Roethlisberger for 20 years in the AFC. And I feel like between Mahomes Allen and Burrow. The rest of the AFC is getting ready to do the next thing. And Trevor Lawrence is just the placeholder, if it will, right? He's just going to be the fourth guy who's in there every year with the other three.
Well, you hope it remains that way, you know. But for you guys don't have to. Patrick is the one everybody's chasing, so he'll stay in the fight all the time. That's what everybody's mimicking. That's what everybody wants to be. Is Patrick. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, they've earned their way in there. It's interesting that we don't talk about the guy that you just mentioned, Justin Herbert. I always found that interesting. We speak of Justin Herbert talent-wise in that same class, but we don't talk about him in that manner of, is he going to be able to throw the king, the god of quarterbacking over there in Kansas City? We don't put him in that role. And I think it's because he hadn't won the big games yet. You know, you lose that game against the Raiders last year, end of the season. You lose this year. You know, you got to win some big games before we put you in there. Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, they've done that and gotten their teams. That's why we talk about. But we got guys. That's why we talk about them. But we got guys with talent that can even get in that group, like the Justin Herberts. If Tua gets back, the Tua gets. AFC is insane at quarterback. So I know y'all would like to think it's just going to be Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, but trust me, y'all gonna have more battles than just those two. If Tua gets back on this field, and I believe he will, if Tua gets back on this field, Trevor Lawrence, like you talked about getting going right now, when they get him a new coach and they win a few of those other games that they haven't won lately, all of those guys are going to come to that conversation.
We're talking to our Odyssey NFL insider, Michael Irvin. In Kansas City, it seems to be pretty split right now. If Kansas City beats Jacksonville, would you rather see Buffalo at a neutral site or be at Arrowhead against Cincinnati? I say I'd rather take on Buffalo because of what Cincinnati's done to Kansas City, even if that means I go to a neutral site in Atlanta against the Bills.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I just don't like the whole confident thing that the Bengals have right now against Kansas City. Right now, everybody else sees Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs as the boogeyman. But Kansas City Chiefs the Buffalo, Cincinnati Bengals don't see that. Cincinnati Bengals feel pretty confident that they can go in there and get it done. And it's all about matchups. They match up well. They're the best. Like, think about this. Kansas City has some trouble with Tennessee because of the physical run game. But in the end, you're going to beat Tennessee because they don't have the pass game. You see what I mean? Sometimes Buffalo, you have problems with the pass game than Josh Allen. But I don't think Buffalo can beat you because they really don't have that physical run game. But the Bengals, they happen to have it both. They got a vaunted passing game with those receivers and Joe Burrow. And they can come hard, run downhill with Mixon and Prime, P-Rhyme. So, yeah, that makes it a tough battle for Kansas City.
Michael Irvin, great to have you on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
Always good to be here, buddy. Always good to talk, man. And ain't nothing greater than talking football this time of year. I'm about to watch that Week 10 matchup again right now while I'm working out between that 27-17 score, like 27-17, if I remember correctly. That Week 10 game, 27-17. So I'm about to go in and studying that right now. That's why it was perfect that I could talk to you before I open the books on the crack and study. But I'm going to get ready for some playoff football early.
So that was our earlier conversation with Michael.
Fantastic
to have Michael on the show. Brings the energy, and the story about being at the Cowboys game is fantastic. And hunting, and you said he was hunting.
Different kind of hunting.
I would have loved
hunting your
hunting in the club, he said.
Would have loved to go hunting with Michael Irvin back in the day. Just picking up his table scraps.
Just You're fine? You'd be fine with that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll just eat the crumbs.
If you could right now, Alex, random question just for you.
Okay.
If you could go out to the club to pick up someone's scraps in this city, who would it be? Got to choose a single person. Can't choose Mahomes.
Well, that really changes it. I don't know who else is single as athlete.
Right? Didn't Kelsey single?
That's not my business. That's complicated.
Jew?
Is he? I honestly don't know if he is.
I don't know.
Fine, then just say
any of them. Any of them.
The answer is Mahomes or Juju or Kelsey's scraps, as you put it.
As he put it.
Jeez.
I didn't put it that way. Nick did.
What?
Oh, she's
there's only one him, and I'm assuming there's more than one woman who would enjoy heading back to his place.
And you think that just because of their proximity to that, they would be interested in you?
Yes.
I don't.
He can kind of get me in with him.
I don't think that's how it would go for you.
I'm not talking about for me.
Just in general, I thought we were talking.
Interesting. Well, either way, Michael Irvin, interesting as always.
I'm just happy to have Michael on the show. I'm also happy that you've calmed down since the 10 o'clock hour, 10 or 11 o'clock hour. You physically grabbed the microphone and moved it more than I've ever seen anybody move the microphone before. You almost broke the microphone.
I did not almost break it. It's perfectly intact.
Nick called you King Kong.
The final word.
I thought that was inappropriate.
I mean, it was a fitting description for what you did. Very upset. Tomorrow, huge show. Cannot wait. We're going to be out at Rally House in Overland Park, the Oak Park location, right by Oak Park Mall, 95th in Quivira. Live from 10 to 2, getting you set for the playoff game on Saturday. It is Friday. Get all your gear. Stop by. We're going to have some gift cards to give away as well. And the 1 o'clock hour tomorrow, commercial free. Michael Massey, MJ Melendez from the Royals, they're co-hosting with us the entire 1 o'clock hour. It's going to be a ton of fun. They're flying into town to go to the Chiefs game, and they're going to stop by Rally House for a full hour. So hope to see you guys, and appreciate everybody, of course, for coming on the show today, including Danon Hughes and Michael Irvin. We'll see you guys tomorrow right here on Cody and Gold.
You're listening to Cody and